of negotiations. I want to play what the president said yesterday on this.
We're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader. It's a little tough. We've wiped out everybody.
Mr. President,
I can't.
Mr. President, I know you've deployed.
Because I don't want him to be killed. Okay? I don't want him to be killed.
So according to reports, we now have a 15-point peace deal with Iran. It was delivered by Pakistan. The president says he's been having discussions with two unnamed leaders in Iran. For obvious reasons, he's not listing who they are. But markets are reacting to this news. The Dow jumping, I believe, 400 points this morning. The S&P 500 futures looking up 0.8%, the NASDAQ gaining 0.8% as well. So we're seeing a little bit of positive news here in the markets. Now, what this is doing is for oil is bringing those prices down. We did see prices edging towards $105 for a barrel of oil yesterday. Now the international benchmark is down in the low 90s. The national benchmark is down to $88 for a barrel of oil. Great news on that front. Really what investors are going to be watching today is how much longer this conflict continues for, how quickly that peace plan can be put in place, and making sure that it doesn't contribute to more inflation within our economy. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Christina Thompson for Newsmax.
Yeah, Christina, thank you so much for that report. And it is good news right now in pre-market. We're seeing the Dow jump a bit. What is the sentiment there on the floor of the exchange? Are people more optimistic given this 15-point plan, as well as it does seem, to your point, oil prices coming down? How are people assessing the situation? Because it's changing minute by minute.
It is changing minute by minute. I think that's why people on the floor, at least who I've talked to this morning, they're holding their breaths, right? They've heard good news, bad news, ebb and flow over the past several weeks. So obviously this is great news as we head into opening bell. But of course, they're keeping their fingers crossed. They're not making too many plans just yet based off of this news. They really want to see it be announced by the president first, because this is...
Find answers to life's biggest questions with pastor and author Bayless Conley. Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove, where Jerry Bilden gets his kicks with one leg.
Better than Route 66.
Yeah, there you
go. With one leg. But wait a minute. One leg.
Yeah.
You're right.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so, by the way, you got a new boot.
Yeah.
You know how I can tell?
How can you tell?
I can sit closer to you. It doesn't stink.
I gotta tell you, it's nice when you're part of a church family. Mm-hmm. So, I've been complaining about the fact I got knee surgery coming up, so I'm going to be getting a new boot. But my old boot has got like a year's worth of mileage on it.
Oh boy.
It finally blew out. The bladder doesn't hold air anymore.
Yeah.
That's the comfort factor. So I complained a little bit about it on air. But I go into church Sunday morning. Yeah. Pam and I slip into our seats, We're in the first worship song, and a buddy, John, comes walking up, puts his arm around me, hands me a boot. Hands me his that he doesn't need anymore. Hands me his boot. It's like, hey man, this is like new.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. It's just like mine. What size shoe do you wear? He goes, 11. I said, okay, I'm going, man. So I'm all pumped up and ready to go.
You're ready to go.
Thank you, John. All right.
Wow. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. All right, good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. We'll bring that to you. Boy, there's a huge decision in Texas yesterday about Meta.
Oh, yeah.
Damages. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
This is a turning point.
Big time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And we've got all kinds of stuff concerning airports and the Middle East. So
it's busy out there.
Yeah, it is. And it rained hard last night.
It did. I mean, it was coming down. I'm sitting there, I'm just fading out, and Pam goes, do you hear that? I go, yeah. It sounded so good.
Yeah, you know what?
What?
Now my pile's wet again.
And mine's gone.
Yeah.
All right, I love it. But guess what?
What?
It is National Medal of Honor Day. It's a very special day. Scotty, there you go. It recognizes all Medal of Honor recipients. The highest military award for valor in the United States was created in 1861 and is awarded only to U.S. military personnel by the President of the United States in the name of Congress for personal acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty. Now, there are 3 versions of the Medal of Honor, one for the Army, Navy, and one for the Air Force. Personnel of the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard received the Navy version. And since its creation, 3,536 Medals of Honor have been awarded to the country's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen.
Wow.
So, to the National Medal of Honor recipients and the 40 million Americans who have served in the United States Armed Forces, we thank you for your sacrifice and service.
Salute.
Amen.
Salute you.
All right.
Good stuff.
Also, it is, and we're looking, the video we're watching, that is of the Museum for the National Medal of Honor. It is in Arlington, Texas, and I would like to go see it. Also, National Little Red Wagon Day.
Oh.
Celebrating the memories in the making and ones already made, and oftentimes that little iconic red wagon, and we're kids, most kids experience it in some form or other. Right. Some of us sold Kool-Aid out of the back of it.
There we go.
Yeah, and also it is also whole day for whole grain.
Oh.
Yeah, an invitation to stop playing safe with white bread and start exploring the world of nutty, chewy, and downright delicious ancient seeds and stalks. And I think a lot of us, you know, we've gone beyond white bread in recent years.
Oh, yeah.
And especially that guy, you know, he's got all the multi-grain.
Dave breads.
Dave, so we call it prison bread.
Prison bread.
Because he was incarcerated at one time, right?
Yeah.
And that's where he developed a lot of his recipes.
Well, he did, and then I think he sold out, too.
Well, he may have. You know, now he's retired. He's probably down the island somewhere. Say, man, this beats prison.
Yeah. It's one of those things you get at Costco that you can't buy one loaf of.
It is the truth. Absolutely. Love that bread. It's got substance. And also, one other thing, it is really good, something to eat. It is National Lobster Newburg Day. Ooh. An American dish. Lobster Newburg includes lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, eggs, and cayenne pepper. Now, check this out. A sea captain by the name of Ben Wenberg developed the elegant and rich dish after he demonstrated the recipe to restaurant manager Charles Delmonico of the famous Delmonico's of New York. They made refinements and added the creation to the restaurant's menu as lobster a la Wenberg, and the dish grew in popularity. However, an argument between Wenberg and manager Charles Delmonico caused the dish to be removed from the menu. After many requests from patrons, Delmonico's returned the dish, but with a new name. The entree came to be known as Lobster Newburg. So don't make Delmonico mad. He'll take your dish right off the menu. And if people want it back, yeah, we're bringing it back, but your name is off, and we got a new name.
I can't say that I've had it.
I don't know if I have either. It looks delicious.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Sounds good.
Everything about it is right.
Okay.
But anyway, so I don't know. Is there a place in town that is famous for Lobster Newburg?
Well, it might be over there at the wharf, the fish place.
Oh, okay.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's what we got today.
Okay.
Enjoy.
All right, 6 minutes past the hour. Here's the guy that's still looking for his little red wagon.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon, expect a cool and wet day with steady rain from Vancouver and Portland south through Wilsonville and McMinnville. Afternoon highs reach the mid-50s with lows tonight in the mid-30s. Across the Willamette Valley, rain continues through the day. Daytime high temperatures will be in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light southwest wind and lows in the 30s. In central Oregon, partly sunny and mid-50s for Prineville. A slight chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Bend and Sun River with highs in the low 50s. Over in Boise, Idaho, partly sunny with a high near 74. Showers continue today along the Oregon coast and breezy in some spots with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s from Coos Bay south through Port Orford, Brookings, and Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, a slight chance of rain for the Rogue Valley, then clearing to partly sunny in upper 50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, partly sunny and near 60 for Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, partly sunny in Wairika with a high near 65, but mostly sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low to mid 80s. Mostly sunny skies continue today over the Bay Area with daytime highs in the upper 70s for Santa Rosa and Napa. San Francisco will be near 70 with a west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and the high in San Jose will be near 78. It's a look at your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Got a little, those are little low clouds, kind of a misty rain, foggy, low cloud morning. But the airport's open. Heard some flying.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It looks like London.
Yeah, it does.
All right. We're usually looking like the LA basin, but hello, we're in London. Time for Dr. Anthony George. And he looks at a very important issue to us because, we stand so firmly in defense of the right to life for the unborn. And here's one of the reasons why. Because he looks at a familiar and comforting passage from Jeremiah where God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you."
Where God said, Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb. And by the way, notice who forms a baby in the womb. This is God in first person. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations. So God is saying, before you were ever in the womb, you were already in my heart. Just think about that for a moment. And I want you to understand this is why I preach the way I preach. And this is why I vote the way I vote. And throughout the years, I have been accused of being politically motivated. And I want you to know, I'm borrowing this from my sister's pastor in Jacksonville. We've created a new email account, jimmycrackcorn@idon'tcare.com. No, I do care. I want to hear, I'm open to anything. But when it comes to saving babies, I will not be quiet. I will preach, I will proclaim, I will do all that I can, saving babies. And that means if you have a candidate over here who is foul-mouthed, self-consumed, needs to have his phone taken out of his hand, and on the other hand, you have a candidate over here who is smooth, refined, and diplomatic, but believes in killing babies, and the unrefined renegade says, I will champion the cause of life and the preborn babies. I didn't get to frame who the choices would be, but hands down, I'm going with those who want to save babies every single time. Every single time.
Yep.
That is so well put. I don't know why that just can't be echoed across every pulpit in America.
Yeah.
We're faced with that in a race here in the state of Oregon for two Republicans running for governor. It is very clear.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, I have comments from one that I interviewed yesterday. But aside from that if that little bit there should be applied to everybody you vote for.
Yes.
Because my thinking is this: if you don't understand the value of human life, if you don't understand that as a Christian, if you don't understand the value of human life, you are positioning yourself to continue the immoral act of discrediting God. If God knew Jeremiah before he was formed, that is one of the great mysteries of all time. Before you were even formed in your mother's womb, God knew you. If that isn't personal and up close, I don't know what is. And to say that that doesn't have value, and of all the things that God created, only humans were made in his image. And if you don't get that in your head and in your heart, and you're going to vote politically because somebody champions a cause that you like more, but yet they are still for killing babies,
right?
I think you have violated your conscience.
Yep. And they don't get the package mixed up, because he put it well too. That guy is smooth, articulate, very diplomatic, but still is for killing babies. I'll take the unrefined guy all the time.
Well, Okay, we can go down that road. We won't. Anyway, good stuff all the way around. All right, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. 12 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Now, I have gone through this airport on many occasions, the Atlantic Airport. It is the busiest airport in the world. And I have stood in, it's the airport you do go to 2 hours before your flight.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I've stood in this TSA line that if you didn't bring a lunch, you'd probably pass out.
Oh, no.
I've actually gone to the airport to catch an 8 o'clock flight at 3:30 in the morning.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's how busy it is. Okay.
Oh.
But the lines are shortening at the airport. One day after ICE was put into place, offering, helping people to get through the TSA line a whole lot sooner. Now, I understand people from TSA are starting to quit their jobs, and you almost can't blame them. I think it's pushing 500 now have walked away. Others are still working hard, and you can't condemn them for this. But the point being is that the president is dispatching ICE to airports where TSA people are not showing up for work to help with all of this, and they seem to be smoothing it out pretty fast.
And people are responding to it. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people are commenting on how good it is and how much they support it. And it's even been commented. It's amazing how nice ICE agents can be when you're not trying to run over them with your SUV.
Well, there you go. And they don't have masks on. They are human beings.
Right.
They are your fellow brothers and sisters and neighbors, and they're working hard to get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
By the way, I will say this. If you're going through an airport that doesn't have ICE, thank those TSA agents for getting up and coming to work anyway.
Yeah.
And some airports even have tip boxes.
Right. And some,
help them out with.
I hear that some of the TSA agents, because funding is so low, they can't even hardly afford to fill up their gas tanks, are sleeping in their cars in the parking lot.
Yeah. Look, I'll stay away from it, but it's obvious. All right. Well, in the meantime, the president is talking to Iran. The question is who? Who's he talking to?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Who's he talking to?
Who's left?
Well, who's left and who has the authority? And
right, yeah.
He could have somebody on the other line, and it could be, you know, the guy in the next room. Who knows? I mean, this is really interesting. But anyway, he says yesterday a very significant gift has been given in this negotiation that apparently has some kind of oil and gas related significance.
Okay.
That's the end of it. We don't know what it is.
I know. What's the gift?
We don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So he's touting, he's got, what, 2 more days to go in his 5-day deal?
Yeah, right.
But my question is, who are you talking to? And do they really have authority?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, the maid may be the only one left in the building.
And does anybody in country, in Iran, do they know who has authority?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, a very significant gift.
Wow.
I don't know what it is. In the meantime, they're still trying to put mines in the Strait of Hormuz.
Are they trying to lay mines there?
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Well, in addition to all of that, another 3,000 Army's elite 82nd Airborne are being sent. This is big. The Pentagon is ordering roughly 3,000 from the Army's elite 82nd Airborne Division to the Middle East, and is expected to go out to join the other ones that are already there, which brings that total somewhere above 4,000. And the 82nd Airborne will provide the president with a broader set of military options, including potential efforts to reopen the straits, seize strategic islands and coastal areas, and to secure the stockpile of highly enriched uraniums. Now, these are the trained of the trained of the trained.
Yeah, yeah.
And so here they go.
Whoa. I wonder...
This is what they were trained to do.
Yeah, I wonder what their orders will be.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. In the meantime, a little bit of an embarrassment in the backyard of the president at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, yeah.
The House district there got flipped to a Democrat.
Yeah. Now, this is state election, right? Yeah, yeah.
So the Florida House District 87 there at Palm Beach, which is the backyard of the president there at Mar-a-Lago, went to a Democrat and carried the seat by 10 points. That's pretty significant. I wonder what the deal is. I'm wondering this. It's just my speculation. Are the residents down there around Mar-a-Lago tired of
I don't know,
all of this?
because this district went to the president in the last election by 10 points.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? I mean, are they just tired of him being around and the interruptions that he has caused for being
I'm not sure, but Democrats need to savor the time they're in right now coming into the midterms, because this is the last time in 10 years that they'll be able to run against Donald Trump. 28. Trump's not on the ballot, and they're going to have to actually come up with an agenda and a platform that they're going to have to articulate to the United States, to the population, other than we hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So it's their moment right now.
Okay. This is a big story that broke late yesterday afternoon. The New Mexico Attorney General called the verdict an historic victory, as Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, has to pay $375 million damage after a jury decision that Meta executives knew that their products have harmed children, disregarded warnings from their own employees, and lied to public about what they knew. And the jury saw it and ruled in favor of the families.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let me tell you why this is significant. This is the crack we've been waiting to see. Okay? It's obvious now that these big companies troll young people for various things, okay? And they knew they were doing it. They even had employees inside the company saying, this is not good for children. It's addictive. It's very addictive. And let me say to parents this. Would you get up this morning as you're preparing your little kiddos ready to go to school, and let's say you put some oatmeal out there for them and a little toast and a glass of orange juice, right?
Okay, yeah.
Would you reach over into your cupboard and get a spoonful of arsenic and put it on the oatmeal?
Obviously not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing when you let your kids on TikTok.
Oh, especially TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially. Now, I didn't...
You need to go get your kid's phone and get TikTok off.
I didn't see TikTok involved in this legal
Well, it's not
action.
part of Meta.
Well, I know, but I think they're much more blatant than Meta is. And
that's what I'm saying. So this has opened the door. This case will open the door now.
Right, but TikTok was involved in the Southern California case that's still deliberating right now, and they settled. They already paid the people in this one off. So they understand how complicit they are. You know, they're settling before it goes to a jury. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're seeing this. But, you know, don't forget, Mom and Dad, you are the most important element in your kids' interaction with social media.
Well, it's,
period.
Look, it's obvious now. And so Mark Zuckerberg was unable to protect his company from this. And I think Mark Zuckerberg, and I want to say this carefully, but it appears to me that Mark Zuckerberg is in over his head. I don't think as a human being he wants to do this, but his company's gotten to the point, and all the people running it, that they do it. So, I mean, remember, he did stand up in that congressional hearing, turned around and said he was sorry.
Yeah.
And his attorneys about fell out of their chair.
No joke.
Yeah. So the only thing I can say is $375 million is a little bit of a bump in the road for them.
I was going to say, that's not much, really.
No.
Yeah.
But it does open the door, and it does. It's a precedence, and now his company has an indictment against him, where TikTok settled and doesn't have a legal indictment against him. See, so but will it come back through other cases in the future? We'll see. But this is a big deal. This is the crack that I think we've been looking for in making these companies a little bit more responsible. All right, well, we're going to load up our little red wagon with, what do we have today?
No, lobster Newburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about that, the ingredients you put in there, that didn't ring a bell with me.
Okay, put whole wheat bread in there then. Okay. What didn't ring a bell? Wait a minute. Back up.
Well, ring it, would it? I forget what it was.
Lobster Newburgh includes lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, eggs, and cayenne pepper. More pepper, please.
Well, I don't know.
I do.
I know. It's too early for me to figure that one out. All right, we'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
You are invited to the 2026 Access Senior Fair, Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X. Over 80 vendor booths offering helpful resources for seniors and their families. Try your luck at a round of bingo complete with prizes. All are welcome at the largest free and fun senior resource fair in Southern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X.
Howdy, y'all doing out there? Howdy. Well, as we said earlier, people are running for public office, and I think that you have a moral duty to ask questions of these candidates.
Yeah.
Who are they? What do they believe? What do they stand for? Okay? Are they just trying to be politically convenient? Okay? And I think, moreover, you have every right to ask the question about their value of human life.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, and you'll see this interview a little bit, I don't know, is that today? Do I have it today? No. You'll probably see it later on this week. But yesterday, Christine Drazen came through, and the first thing she wants to do is come to the Dove.
All right.
So we sat down yesterday. We had a nice chat, and I did record it. And she's running for governor again. She's doing very well. I think she'll win the primary on the Republican side just fine.
Oh,
and then move on to the general against Tina Kotek, which I don't think we've ever seen a governor more vulnerable to be booted out than this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just asked her a lot of questions, but here's a little bit of my time yesterday with Christine. I just basically asked her a simple little question. How would you prioritize your agenda if you're elected? Here's what she had to say.
I'm going to kick off the party by tearing up executive orders that are driving up costs for Oregon. Oregonians don't even realize how many costs are associated at the gas pump and in food prices and in the cost of doing business, building anything, is driven up by executive orders that Tina Kotek has put her signature on. And I will immediately dismantle those executive orders. That's one. Day one, tear them up.
Okay.
And then also just the opportunity to fire the unelected bureaucrats that are making life more complicated and just crushing people with a regulatory environment here. And that's also day one. And then we also have an opportunity to balance the state's budget and get back to core functions and focus on the issues that Oregonians are asking us to. They want safe communities. They want to have, a fully functioning state police. They want the people that are on our streets that are homeless to either get help or not stay. I mean, this is uncomplicated for Oregonians. So an emergency order for homelessness around addiction, and homelessness for me is more focused on addiction. Right now, we have people living on our streets that are 85 to 90% of those folks are addicted to something, and they're not getting the help that they need. And so we're talking about getting the budget back in shape is job one. I have to present a budget to the legislature within 6 weeks.
Whoa.
$139 billion is what we have today. And I guarantee you there is a nice fat percentage of that is squandered and wasted. But I will produce a budget that prioritizes core functions and is balanced, and I will stick to it.
Okay, we talked in detail about a lot of those things.
Okay.
But unaware that this current governor has used the power of executive orders to move forward a very progressive agenda. But the biggest thing is the Oregonians are not backing down from this gas tax thing. And by the way, it will appear now in the May primary ballot.
Okay.
So they tried like crazy to unwind that.
Yeah.
The Democrats are still trying to shove it down their throat. Now, here's the deal. The largest voting bloc in the state of Oregon are independents.
Okay. Yeah.
So they won't get necessarily a complete ballot of everything, but that one will be on there because it goes to all Oregonians because it is a citizens' referendum. The last poll that we saw, it was well into the 70% range of Oregonians that do not want this tax package.
Okay.
She said also something. When they went into this special session, do you know what Tina Kotek's original package was for? $15 billion in tax increases.
No kidding.
They settled on $4.3 billion to fix a $350 million problem.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
They were going to tax everything, and I think even oxygen.
Okay. And you said that this has the support of what's the percentage of voters?
It's well into the 70s.
What's wrong with the others?
Well,
do they drink it the Kool-Aid all the way?
All the way.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. So anyway, that's kind of what's happening.
Wow.
All right. Good morning to you. Let's take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's happening on the weather scene.
Yeah.
We had a good shower last night.
We did. It rained pretty hard at times.
Excuse me. It's going to back off.
Yeah.
For a day or so, and then what?
There's a gap there, and it's going to stay gappy for a while, all the way through the weekend. It's going to start to clear. We're going to see temperatures get back into the 70s, mid to upper 70s by the end of the week and into Sunday. But then, see that front way out there?
Yeah.
It's coming, and it's going to come maybe around Monday or so, and for a good part of next week, we may see a few more showers.
All right.
That would be a good thing. Okay, well, we're all watching with great interest and sadness the airplane crash at LaGuardia, the collision between Air Canada and the fire truck. And following that crash at LaGuardia, former FAA spokesman Scott Brenner responded to this recording of air traffic control on Fox News.
Frontier 4195, just stop there, please. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop. Delta 2603, go around, runway heading 2000. Jet 646. Jet 646, I see you collide with vehicle in its whole position. I know you can't move.
It's a safe airport and has been a safe airport for a long time. And the FAA has put some limitations on that airport where they limit the number of takeoffs and landings. It's like 71 per hour. So it's a very constricted airport, but there is stuff going on. There is lots of traffic going on. You know, and anytime I see one of these crashes, right, it's a series of events that led to this, right? So United Flight declares an emergency because some of the flight attendants aren't feeling well. They roll the fire truck, and this is what happens. But then you also see the development of technology. I mean, this is a long-standing problem, the intersection of ground equipment and aircraft. And the FAA, you know, probably 20 years ago developed a system called Airport Service Detection Equipment, ASDX. And we've got it deployed at about 35 airports right now nationally. It's a great technology, and it alerts controllers about potential conflicts. And I'm assuming that this controller or everybody in that tower was seeing an alert going off as this fire truck was going across that active runway and you had that Jazz Air coming in. So it's all very frustrating to see that we had the technology and now we just have to figure out why it happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, the only thing left in my mind that they have to figure out, did the fire truck hear the ground control?
Yeah, because he was repeating it over and over again.
It.
Yeah.
So he's telling the airliner to go around, which I don't think he could do it. I mean, he was committed to the landing. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But just that, what was that, 30 seconds or maybe 20 seconds of exchange there?
Yeah.
The question has to be asked, did the fire truck, and they wear headsets.
Okay.
They're on ground control.
Right.
Did they hear this?
Yeah.
Now, it's possible the noise at the airport, they didn't.
Maybe, yeah.
But, boy, oh, boy.
Oh, man.
That is really bad. Yeah. Okay. 1:30, we'll take a quick I don't know, what is it, lobster?
Lobster Newburgh and grainy bread.
Oh.
What do you want?
Yeah. All right, we'll check in with Gabby when we come back.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Christ belongs to all people. He belongs to the whole world.
For 60 years, Billy Graham and his team took the message of Christ to the world.
Have you been born again?
Telecasts of Billy Graham crusades continue to reach millions with the gospel.
If you repent, He will forgive.
Relive these moments on Billy Graham Classics.
Jesus said, "Follow me. Come and change the world with me."
Billy Graham Classics, Friday and Saturday on the Dove TV.
Good morning, happy Wednesday, welcome back. Good spring shower last night. Came down pretty hard, some remnants of that left over a little bit this morning. In the meantime, the Middle East, pretty much the big story. Who's talking to who? And do we know who's talking to who?
Yeah, and do we know who's got authority to talk to who?
This is amazing.
Yeah.
In the meantime, just Israel alone and their participation in all of this is really interesting. They seem to be pretty focused, Israel is, on what their agenda is. And the president over here took a 48-hour ultimatum and turned it into a 5-day ultimatum. I think we're day 2 or 3 into this now, so we'll see where this goes. And supposedly there's a crack, I don't know. But again, who's he talking to?
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's check in with all our friends there at CBN News and get caught up on what's going on.
As the war with Iran continues, a diplomatic front is emerging. President Donald Trump now says the U.S. is in active talks with Iran to end the conflict.
We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement.
He said those talks include no nuclear weapons for Iran and joint control of the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran is publicly denying any negotiations are even taking place. Iran's Speaker of Parliament posted on X calling it fake news.
They're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly. I would say that if they carry through with that, it'll end that problem, that conflict. And I think it'll end it very, very substantially.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu showing support for the talks while making clear military operations will continue.
President Trump believes that there's a chance to achieve the war's goals with a deal that will also protect our interests. At the same time, we continue to attack in Lebanon and Iran, and we will protect our interests under any circumstances.
The negotiations leading President Trump to extend to 5 days his ultimatum for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. On the ground, nothing has changed as Israel continues pounding Iran and Hezbollah as emergency crews in Tel Aviv work the scene of another Iranian missile strike this morning. In Jerusalem, excavators remove rubble caused by fragments from an Iranian missile that hit the Old City Friday. The damage still has the world on edge.
Let me give you an idea of just how close this missile fragment hit to major religious sites here in the Old City. To my left, right over here, that is the southern wall of the Old City. Just beyond that, we're talking the city of David. 200 yards in that direction to the right of it is David's tomb. And then from where I'm standing right here, you have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre that way. And then right behind me, just about 500 yards down and around, is the Western Wall and the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
And the reality is that's what you're seeing here. Here was a missile attack, and immediately it's rebuilt. Immediately it's move on. The answer to terrorism is never get stopped. You just keep going.
In Washington, President Trump promises to keep going with Iran's invasion if talks fail.
We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Paul Petit, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Saturday, Iranian missiles got past Israel's defenses, striking the city of Dimona, where Israel's nuclear reactor is located, as well as the nearby city of Arad. The strikes doing severe damage and wounding more than 100, but miraculously no one died.
These are two separate incidents that happened at different times, and in both, interceptors were fired. But unfortunately, we were not able to intercept the missiles that were fired. From the investigation we carried out in the Air Force, it came out that the failure in the interception in both incidents is not related one to the other.
Israeli military spokesman Brigadier General Effie Defreen says that the missiles Iran is using are familiar to Israel, and they are learning new things all the time.
The Air Force is managing a complex defensive battle. More than 90% of the launches fired at Israel are intercepted.
On Friday, an Iranian missile landed in Jerusalem's Old City Jewish quarter. It's the second time fragments fell in the historic Old City in a week, once near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Visiting Arad on Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the fact they targeted civilians with mass murder weapons proves Iran endangers the entire world.
We're responding with great force, but not on civilians. We're going after the regime. We're going after the IRGC, this criminal gang, and we're going after them personally, their leaders, their installations, their economic assets.
Also on Friday, Iran proved it had longer-range missiles than previously thought. It launched 2 ICBMs at a joint UK-US military base on Diego Garcia Island in the Indian Ocean, some 2,500 miles away. Both the missiles missed, but it proves they have the ability to reach Western Europe, twice as far as previously believed. In an interview on CBS Face the Nation, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Mike Waltz said, "It's proof the war is necessary."
Thank God the president is taking action now and stopping this march towards a fully fledged nuclear program instead of waiting until after it's developed.
Under the previous deadline, Iran had threatened to retaliate by hitting regional power plants in countries that supply U.S. bases or have American investments. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte told Fox News Sunday that NATO countries are now stepping up to help protect shipping in the Strait after initially refusing.
A group of 22 countries, most of them from NATO, but also Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, the UAE and Bahrain, most of the other countries from NATO, coming together to implement his vision of making sure that the Strait of Hormuz is free, is opening up.
In the north, Hezbollah continues to pummel northern Israel, and Israel is striking back at Hezbollah leaders and weapons and targeting bridges over the Litani River to block the flow of Hezbollah fighters from the north. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
All right, well, there you go. How do you keep up with all that?
You can't. It's
I still
hard.
want to know, why hasn't somebody from the press asked the president who he's talking to?
Good question, yeah.
And what authority does that person have?
Yeah, right.
Is he just the guy operating the local bunker?
Does anybody in Iran Do they dare to claim authority? Seriously.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, here's the guy with his little red wagon.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon, expect a cool and wet day with steady rain from Vancouver and Portland south through Wilsonville and McMinnville. Afternoon highs reach the mid-50s with lows tonight in the mid-30s. Across the Willamette Valley, rain continues through the day. Daytime high temperatures will be in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light southwest wind and lows in the 30s. In central Oregon, partly sunny in mid-50s for Prineville. A slight chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Bend and Sun River with highs in the low 50s. Over in Boise, Idaho, partly sunny with a high near 74. Showers continue today along the Oregon coast and breezy in some spots with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s from Coos Bay south through Port Orford, Brookings, and Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, a slight chance of rain for the Rogue Valley, then clearing to partly sunny in upper 50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, partly sunny in near 60 for Klamath Falls. Into northern California, partly sunny in Wairika with a high near 65, but mostly sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low to mid-80s. Mostly sunny skies continue today over the Bay Area with daytime highs in the upper 70s for Santa Rosa and Napa. San Francisco will be near 70 with a west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and the high in San Jose will be near 78. It's a look at your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
There's a look of our backyard. High clouds, low clouds, right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Not at all.
Drive carefully.
Well, it was on this day in 1937 that a headline-grabbing deal changed the business of sports forever. It was revealed that Babe Ruth, the legendary Sultan of SWAT, was being paid a staggering $25,000 a year to promote Quaker Oats. At the time, that kind of endorsement deal was unheard of. But Ruth wasn't just any player. He was baseball's biggest star, a larger-than-life figure whose name carried weight far beyond the ballpark. Quaker Oats saw the opportunity, putting him front and center in ads promoting their cereals and products to families across America. Some questioned the price tag, but it didn't take long to see the impact. Ruth's charisma and popularity helped build a powerful connection with consumers, and sales followed. More importantly, the partnership helped pioneer a whole new idea: athletes as brand ambassadors. Today, sports endorsements are a multi-billion-dollar industry, but it all traces back to one groundbreaking deal and one unforgettable name: Babe Ruth. Of course, Michael Jordan says, "Thank you very much, Babe Ruth."
Yeah,
you broke new ground, and he reaped the benefits. Now, he got $25,000 from Quaker Oats. In today's money, that's just over $567,000. Which in today's terms is really a bargain, because sports figures, they don't sign for less than millions now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got him for a bargain price.
How come nobody's asking you and I to sign from?
I'll endorse Quaker Oats.
Would you?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm eating a different brand right now, Steel Cut Oats. But yeah, if they want my endorsement, I come cheap.
Do you?
Yeah. Ask Pam.
Well, I think Costco ought to give me a deal for promoting their ice cream bars.
Yeah, I think just in general, a general Costco endorsement.
Well, I'm always a champion of those. The box of 18 of the Kirkland ice cream bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yes, indeed. Oh, they're good.
And I'm cheap. I mean, I'd do it for $1 million. They pay me multis.
Can we get a group deal?
Yeah,
Come on. Come on, man.
All right. All right. Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano. He's a senior counselor there at the Heritage Foundation. He spoke with Fox Business with the program called The Evening Edge, and responded to apparently the assistant to the Russian president. He's a spokesman for Putin. Mm-hmm. That urging Iran to give up the hostilities. Anyway, here's the response.
We believe that the situation should have transitioned to a political and diplomatic settlement as early as yesterday. This is the only thing that can effectively contribute to diffusing the catastrophically tense situation that has now developed in the region.
Iran is one of the few staunch allies that the Russians have left. We know that they supply them drones and other things. So, just geographically, strategically, they're a key ally. The probable answer here, the logical answer is that the Russians are afraid that the Iranian regime is going to collapse, and that they would be sitting way back in the 1950s with an American ally, a massive, huge American ally, sitting on their doorstep astride the Caucasus in Central Asia. That's a terrifying thought. Literally, the only outlet in the world left would be Russia. I mean, that's a nightmare. So I think the Russians are afraid if the Iranians don't stop, they're not going to be there for them.
Well, it's an interesting twist.
Yes, it is.
I think they're past the point of being there for them.
Yeah, I think so.
You know.
Right.
So here's a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Is it possible that the end game now is for America to control the strait?
Oh, you know, that's interesting you say that, because the president was asked that yesterday, who's going to eventually be in charge? And he didn't say the United States. He said, it might be me. I'm not kidding you.
Okay. I think we ought to give the president a little red wagon and come take a walk in the park. We'll be right back.
Tells me a different story. The voice of truth says do not be afraid. And the voice of truth says this is for my glory.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Rogue Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business while we handle the IT headaches. Find us at RogueTechPros.com. RogueTechPros.com. We keep IT simple.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday to you. The Pentagon is requesting $200 billion.
For what?
For war.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. And this is getting mixed reviews, as you can imagine. And Senator Dave McCormick, he's from Pennsylvania, I believe, he responds to this clip where the president is talking about deadlines with Iran to open up the strait and why this money is needed. And here's his comments on that.
We're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody, as good as if we went all the way and just literally annihilated the place, which if we don't have to do that, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing.
Well, I absolutely will support standing behind our men and women in uniform. They're in the middle of they're putting their lives on the line to advance American interest in against the biggest sponsor of state terrorism in the world, a country that has vowed to destroy the great Satan. What's in that $200 billion package, or what the package is, matters. So we'll have to look and see what's in there. But it's clear that the nature of warfare is changing dramatically. We saw that in Ukraine. We see it in the Middle East. And America has superior military capability. It's been a magnificent display over the last 3 weeks of military capability. But we need to make sure we maintain that cutting edge. So I'll definitely be standing behind our men and women in uniform. We'll have to see what's in that package. This idea that there was no contemplation of the Straits of Hormuz and what that would mean for oil prices is crazy. Oil prices went to $200 a barrel during the first Gulf War. So this was certainly part of the contingency of plans. And I think the president is doing everything he should do to maintain optionality.
That's interesting, because I've heard a lot of comments in the media about the fact that this administration didn't take into account what would happen in the Straits of Hormuz, and then, i.e., the price of oil going up. And obviously, that's always in the equation. That's something that they figured on.
I mean, you're dealing with Iran. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
exactly.
they be part of the... Yeah, why wouldn't they be part of the thinking?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this is kind of interesting, because I'm sure Democrats are going to have a real problem with this funding issue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. All right. Got some great guests coming up. Joel Block will be with us. Ken LaCourte's always good to get his perspective. And have you ever asked the Lord for spiritual discernment?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Has he ever given it to you?
I think so.
And that's when you've learned to say, yes, dear.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty wise. Thank you, Lord. Yes, indeed. All right, well, this is pretty cool. A fourth grader is being called a real-life hero after saving a man's life just one day after learning how.
9-year-old Logan Vangemert of Martin, Michigan, was at church when a man suddenly collapsed from cardiac arrest. While adults nearby scrambled, Logan didn't hesitate. He had just learned hands-only CPR at school less than 24 hours earlier, and in that critical moment, he remembered exactly what to do. Logan jumped in and began chest compressions, keeping the man alive until help arrived. Moments later, an AED was used to restart the man's heart. He's now recovering from surgery. Logan says he felt a voice telling him to act, and he listened. He and his family believe it was from the Lord. His bravery is now being recognized by his school, local officials, and the American Heart Association. And while he's only 9, Logan already knows what's next. He hopes to become a doctor someday. Proof that heroes don't wait, and sometimes they're still in grade school.
So in the story, he said that some of the adults around there were like kind of indecisive about what to do, and he was like, no, he knew what to do. He jumped in. The kid, the 9-year-old, says, "Step back, adults. I'll take care of this."
So well, obviously he does, but we went through that course here on the floor.
And I can't remember where I was. So if there's a CPR incident here, I'm destined to be the victim, and you guys are going to have to know how to help me.
Well, we have to.
I don't know how to do it.
I'd call Pam first and say, "Pam, you want us to revive him?"
Oh, yes. Okay.
He's down to his last breath. What would you like us to do, Pam?
What should we do? Thanks.
No.
And then, does she have a time frame she has to decide in?
Well, call me back in a few minutes. We had this course right here on the floor.
Yeah.
And we were doing it. And we have these little cards in our pocket. In fact, now they got to come back and do a refresher course.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's really good for anybody that has a team of people.
Yeah.
They should learn how to do this.
Yeah, and it works.
It really does.
Yeah.
But I remember that these fake rubber bodies they brought out.
Yeah, the dummies.
The dummies.
Yeah.
Peggy couldn't compress it. She didn't have the strength to compress it.
And that's a big deal. And that's why.
And that's why I asked about this 9-year-old.
Yeah, how did he do it?
Did he have to put his whole body weight
I would think so. He's like jumping up to push down.
You got to do it because you got to really press down on this thing,
Yeah, I know somebody who's done it a number of times.
Yeah.
He said it's shocking how much pressure you have to use.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, Pam, leave your phone on just in case. Okay.
Think of me, honey.
Proverbs 28:13. Whoever conceals their sin does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. You know what? That's totally up to you. All right. A little bit of snow on the hill this morning. Look at that.
How about that?
Okay.
Wow.
All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegateRV.com.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous, they're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Hi, I'm Bayless Conlon. In life, we all face uncertainty, whether it's financial troubles, relationship valleys, a health crisis, or just trying to discover your purpose. One thing is for certain, God sees you. He loves you, and no matter what you're facing, He has the answers.
Get Answers with Bayless Conley, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Pacific Northwest and Northern California.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. This is the third day of spring break. No, actually third, fourth, sixth day of spring break, I guess.
Yeah.
How you look at it. Anyway, for the state of Oregon, Jerry's here. He's just kind of like a little bumblebee flying around between the flowers.
Well, I'm not flying really well because I'm rebooted. Reboot 2.0.
Yeah. So he's got a new boot, which I'm so thankful for that.
I am too. And you know, I complained because I wore out the old boot, and I'm gonna get another boot for my new surgery, but I was just trying to, get that other boot to surgery.
Yeah.
But I complained on the air about it, and I went to church on Sunday morning. Pam and I slipped in, and we're standing there, and we're in the first song that we're singing, and my buddy John comes up, he puts his arm around me, and he hands me a boot. He hands me his boot that he doesn't need no more. Okay. So I got it, and church family is a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But I want to say, John, thank you, because the other one was really getting
a little rank.
Oh, thank you, John. Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Well, guess what? This is a big day. It is National Medal of Honor Day. Ooh. It recognizes all Medal of Honor recipients. It's the highest military award for valor given in the United States, created in 1861 and awarded to U.S. military personnel by the United States President in the name of Congress for personal acts of valor above and beyond the call of duty. There are 3 versions of the Medal of Honor, one for the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Personnel of the Marine Corps and the Coast Guard receive
received the Navy version, and since its creation, 3,536 medals of honor have been awarded to the country's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. So, to the Medal of Honor recipients and to the 40 million Americans who have served in the United States Armed Forces, we thank you for your sacrifice and service. As we look at some footage of the Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington, Texas.
I'd like to go see that.
I would too. I found that video and I thought, man, I want to make this a destination. I want to go see it. So,
good stuff.
All right. Also, National Little Red Wagon Day, celebrating memories in the making and the ones already made. And oftentimes as we grow up, a Little Red Wagon's involved.
Yep.
Brought to you by, what's the Radio Flyer wagon company? Yeah. But a lot of us, you know, we all experienced wagons. Some of us sold Kool-Aid out of the back of wagons.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Anyway,
We
also
raced them down hills.
What?
We raced them down hills.
Hey, how did that work?
Well, you know, we lived through it.
Did you wear helmets? Did you seatbelt yourself in?
You know. We were barefooted, shorts, and a T-shirt.
Mercurochrome? Yeah. Put a little Mercurochrome on it. Remember that? Does anybody use Mercurochrome anymore? That's that glow-in-the-dark orange stuff that you used to put on wounds?
Yeah.
I don't see that anymore.
No, the one that, you know, we lived alongside this levee. And we always loved it when the spring grass came, because then we get pieces of cardboard and then slide down the hill. You know.
And you made it to adulthood.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
I feel it all over.
I bet you do. It is also a whole day for whole grain. Okay. And it is an invitation for all of us to stop playing it safe with white bread and explore the world of nutty, chewy, and delicious ancient seeds and stocks. And there's a lot of, you know, whole wheat breads. Get Dave's.
From Costco.
Some people, well, my house, we call it prison bread.
Prison bread.
I guess Dave was incarcerated at one point in time.
He was a bad guy.
He was, and that's where he developed some of his recipes while he was there.
Yeah.
And since he got out, he was a big success in business, and then sold his bread company. And now he's like retired where, I wonder?
Oh, he's sitting on a beach with a glass with an umbrella in it.
That's probably true.
Sipping something.
Glad he's not in prison anymore. All right. And one other thing to eat, it is National Lobster Newburg Day. An American dish. It includes lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, eggs, and cayenne pepper. Now check this out. A sea captain by the name of Ben Wenberg developed the elegant and rich dish after he demonstrated the recipe to restaurant manager Charles Delmonico of the famous Delmonicos of New York. They made some refinements and added the creation to the restaurant's menu as lobster a la Wenberg, and the dish grew in popularity. But an argument between Wenberg and manager Charles Delmonico caused the dish to be removed from the menu, and after requests from patrons, Delmonico's returned the dish, but with a new name. The entree came to be known as Lobster Newburg. So don't make the restaurant manager angry, because your creation will disappear or change names, or both, as it did with this one.
What would you do if they replaced lobster with bacon?
It would be something else.
Yeah.
Bacon Newburg. Yeah, why not? And I think a lot of people would buy it.
It's just hard to believe that lobster was considered really a bad thing at one time.
It was prison food. It used to wash up on the shores in the East Coast, and it was in such abundance. Honestly, they fed it to prisoners and they also used it as feed. Imagine that. Feed me.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, here's the guy that never let his little red wagon go. Put Pam in it.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon, expect a cool and wet day with steady rain from Vancouver and Portland south through Wilsonville and McMinnville. Afternoon highs reach the mid-50s with lows tonight in the mid-30s. Across the Willamette Valley, rain continues through the day. Daytime high temperatures will be in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light southwest wind and lows in the 30s. In central Oregon, partly sunny in mid-50s for Prineville. A slight chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Bend and Sun River with highs in the low 50s. Over in Boise, Idaho, partly sunny with a high near 74. Showers continue today along the Oregon coast and breezy in some spots with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s from Coos Bay south through Port Orford, Brookings, and Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, a slight chance of rain for the Rogue Valley, then clearing to partly sunny in upper 50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, partly sunny near 60 for Klamath Falls. Into northern California, partly sunny in Wairika with a high near 65, but mostly sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low to mid-80s. Mostly sunny skies continue today over the Bay Area with daytime highs in the upper 70s for Santa Rosa and Napa. San Francisco will be near 70 with a west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and the high in San Jose will be near 78. It's a look at your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
Kind of an interesting shot there. We had some high leftover rain clouds from last night. We had some low drifting clouds, kind of like below, the mountaintop level. So kind of a mixed bag out there. It slowly clears up.
Well, time for some encouragement here with Dr. Anthony George as he looks at David's realization in Psalm 139 that God is everywhere.
Where could I go to get away from your presence, your Holy Spirit? Where could I flee to escape you? If I fly to heaven, you're there. If I lie down in Sheol or the abode of the dead, you're there. If I sail out into the deepest ocean, Lord, you're still there. There's nowhere that I can go where you will not be. So God has him hemmed in. God has him cornered. God has him surrounded. That's the limitation. I just am curious, is there anyone in this room besides me who's ever felt stuck in life? Stuck where you are, yeah. Stuck in the pecking order, stuck in the food chain. Kind of stranded out on the desert island, stuck, unable to move and to go beyond where you are. Well, I think it's normal to have had a time in life, or if you're there today, it's not at all abnormal. And throughout the years, I've had a lot of people come to me and want to talk about being stuck. And I could offer a lot of possible reasons as to why we are stuck sometimes or why we feel stuck. But one of the reasons is in this passage. It's not always the case, but it is in many cases for those who are saved. It could be that you're stuck because God has surrounded you on every side and will not let you leave from where you are until he's taught you what he wants you to learn. And when God has you hemmed in on every side, there you will be. Through the years, I've talked to pastors who feel stuck in their churches because they have problems or difficulties. I've talked to lots of staff ministry members who feel stuck where they are, and in many cases, their situation is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuck.
Sometimes you have to look back to look forward. Even though the Bible is clear, sometimes you have to put your hand to the plow and don't look back. So there's two applications there. But everything in the Old Testament deals with the Passover was to remind them of where they came from.
Oh, yeah.
And how God provided for them.
Yeah.
So once in a while, when you're in that stuck position, you have to ask yourself, did God fail you in the past? No.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He got you through the impossible. Somehow you got through it.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes we resist, getting unstuck. Look at the Israelites, how long they were stuck in Egypt. And then he says, okay, I'm going to deliver somebody to help you escape and leave. And they're partway there, and they go, no, we want to go back.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So it's a constant human nature thing.
Yeah.
But, if you're stuck, you may just want to stop and just say, okay, God, what is it that I'm not hearing? And take that walk in the park. All right, good morning to you. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And one of them is ICE has been deployed to certain airports to help with the TSA unfunding. They're not funding them. And hundreds of them now are leaving their job. And you can't blame them.
Yeah.
They can't make their car payments. They can't get gas. They can't get food. I mean, they got to do something. So they had to go get some part-time work somewhere else. And Elon Musk offered to pay everybody's salary, get them back on track. That probably won't go anywhere, but at least he offered to do it.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, this bill is stuck because of the Democrats. because the Democrats don't want to fund ICE.
Right.
As part of the package. So
Right.
what's the president do? He tells ICE to go in and do their job.
I mean, this is just amazing.
It is amazing. And so
Yeah.
what's so interesting about it is ICE has had no problems inside these airports.
Of course not. Of course not.
They walk in, and they're speeding up the line, such as the case at Atlanta. I've been through that airport, and I'm telling you, that's the busiest airport in the world.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I've been through there many times. I've had to go out there at 3:30 in the morning to catch an 8 o'clock flight.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
oh, man.
The thing of it is that the ICE agents are there now, helping out where TSAs, aren't showing up because they're not being paid.
Yeah.
And actually speeding up the situation.
And people are responding in a very positive way to the ICE presence in the airports. And I even saw it posted yesterday. It's amazing how nice these ICE agents are when you're not trying to run over them with your SUV.
Yes. And they don't have a mask on.
Yeah.
They're actually human beings.
Yes. Yep.
All right. The other story is that the president is talking to somebody in Iran. We don't know who.
Yeah.
And we don't know who the who is, whether the who has authority. But he did say that there's a gift coming, or did arrive yesterday, that is, quote, very significant with the negotiations. Apparently, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is involved in this, along with Vice President Vance, and it has to do with oil and gas related. But that's all we know.
Yeah, that's kind of a tease.
You talk about a tease.
Yeah.
That's hanging everything out there. But maybe we'll find out today what it is. But the president went from a 48-hour ultimatum to Iran, where he was going to start taking out some of the infrastructure, like power plants, to a 5-day, let's give this 5-day pause. And we're in this pause period, day number 3, I think it is now. And in the meantime, yesterday, something significant came as a big present.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it is. And we don't know who he's talking to.
No. Yeah. I wonder who he is talking to and who's got the authority there and who claims it and do they have any backing. And then again, too, you had mentioned that one of our allies is stepping up.
Yeah, there's a report just popped up 20 minutes ago that apparently the UK's had a change of mind, and they're going to work with other allies and send military ships to the Straits.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the UK was that to me tells me so much. First of all, their leadership is really problematic.
Yes.
Secondly, the guy knows now that he's probably not going to get reelected.
Okay.
And you better take care of America. How many times has America taken care of you?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
So he's under a lot of heat.
Well,
anyway.
Another little thing popped up that may be an irritant to the left especially. It was asked yesterday because with all of this activity for the Straits of Hormuz, somebody has finally asked the question, well, who will control the Strait of Hormuz at the end of all this? And they asked that to the president. The president said flat out, he didn't say, well, the United States, he said, it might be me.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I guess you could take off on that.
Yeah.
But the question is being asked, will the United States control the Strait?
That is the question, yeah. Yeah.
And is the president going to put a Trump Tower right out there on the peninsula?
Oh, God.
Can you imagine this Trump Tower right out there on the peninsula and waving at the ships as they go by?
I don't know. Yeah, it could happen.
Iran's been trying to load the Strait up with some mines, but apparently that's being interrupted.
Yeah.
We have, look at this story. 3,000 Army's elite 82nd Airborne is being sent over there. Now, these are like the really high-trained people. Okay, now they've been training for stuff like this, and here they are. They're being shipped over. That puts a little over 4,000 military people over in that area, sitting on the ships waiting to go to shore, I guess. But these are the top of the top, and this will provide the president with broader set of military options, including the efforts to reopen the strait. Now, where they go and what they do, who knows? But these are like the top of the top. And not that other people are less than that. These guys have been highly trained for specific operations.
Ooh, yeah, I wonder what their orders will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, they're being bullied. All right. In the meantime, a little bit of a problem in the backyard of the president there at Naples, Florida, better known as Mar-a-Lago. The sitting district there didn't have a seat, and then they had to have a runoff because the guy that held the seat there in Florida's 87th district went to work at another capacity, so it left for a special election. That seat was who won that in the past. The president, it was a Republican. He won it by 10 points. Well, he lost to the runoff, I should say, for replacement, went to a Democrat, 51-48.
Yeah.
So there's a 3-point spread, 4-point spread.
Yeah. President won this district by 10 points in the last election, too. So, swinging a little bit there.
So I don't know what this means other than it was probably an anti-Trump campaign. It could have been. It could be, and I'm just guessing out loud, having the president, who is such a high-profile person that he is and as controversial as he is, that town's probably been turned upside down.
Yeah, probably.
You know, and they may be a little tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting raids at early in the morning. You got helicopters going and coming. You got people everywhere.
That's a good point. But it has been mentioned. I heard an interesting report this morning that Democrat leadership is kind of in a quandary right now because this is the last election cycle, the one that we are coming into right now, and included the midterms. This is going to be the last time in 10 years they're going to be able to run against Donald Trump, saying because we dislike him, we're standing up against his policies. Everything about Donald Trump we oppose. So that is our platform. Well, they're going to have to develop something now because 28, there's going to be no Donald Trump on the ballot, and they're actually going to have to come up with some ideas to sell to the American public on where they plan to lead this country.
Well, okay, I guess you can comment on that, what it might be, but just look what has been uncovered.
Good point.
That's what. The reason they hate Donald Trump so much. Listen, I granted his personality is hard to deal with, but he's uncovered everything that they have done over the past couple of years, and he's attacked it. Okay.
Yes.
So what's their message going to be? We want to return to that.
Right. Yeah.
The question is, did they get Donald enough to damage him that they don't have a message?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Interesting day when your name becomes a verb.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a very interesting story. Yesterday, the New Mexico Attorney General called the verdict from a lawsuit down there historic victory, where Meta, who owns Facebook and Instagram, had to pay damages to a parent. To parents where the children were violated because they were being harmed by what's being done on those social medias, $375 million. Now, what makes this so interesting is the Facebook and Instagram parent company violated New Mexico's consumer protection law following a lawsuit brought by the Attorney General, who accused Meta of failing to protect children from predators. And they were able to pinpoint this down, that they were guilty of this. This cracks the door, folks. This is a big deal. And so in the meantime, even inside Meta, there were employees saying this is happening. And anyway, Mark Zuckerberg and his company just got fined $375 million. That's probably a half hour of business. But it does open the door. Yeah. And let me say to parents, and what's interesting, I realize this is Meta, and that would be Facebook and Instagram. I'll just repeat it. When you get up this morning and you're fixing your little child a nice little breakfast and you're getting to head them out the door for school or wherever they're going today, spring vacation, would you reach over and get a spoonful of arsenic and put it on their breakfast?
No.
And yet, that's what your kids are getting every time they open up TikTok. It is owned by the Chinese. It's run by the Chinese. It is trolling at its worst. It's propaganda at its worst. And the only thing I can say, if you really love your children, you'll get their phone and take that app off, and you'll block it from being on there. That's the worst of all of them, and the other ones are bad, even where Meta gets fined $375 million.
Yeah, and I think parents really need to talk about when is it appropriate for kids to have smartphones? When can they actually go online and join into social media? These are really important conversations for parents, and I think that age bar, is moving higher.
There you go. those are some of the top stories on this Wednesday morning. And we're going to take our little red wagon and go look for some lobster.
Okay.
I know a place where mercy flows. Take the stains, make you whiter than snow. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us, and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Yeah, 24 minutes past the hour. Jerry.
Yeah, well, you know,
you're slipping.
Yeah, I know. Before you move on to some more interesting hard
that
news
boot
here.
on too tight.
I know. It's cutting off circulation in my brain.
Yes, it is.
What does that say?
Well, a lot.
I'm not even wanting to talk about it, but it's a big day today. It is the opener. Major League Baseball season starts today. There's only one game, and it's an interleague game. This is going to be big. Historic teams. The New York Yankees have traveled to San Francisco, and they'll take on the San Francisco Giants this afternoon, 5 o'clock. The rest of the league starts tomorrow. The other teams will be playing, but the Major League Baseball season starting today. Go Yankees.
Keeping the dream alive.
Yes, indeed.
All right, well, listen, we are in a midterm, and such is the case here in Oregon. And Oregon, there's a high probability that California and Oregon could get Republican governors after years of just complete one dominant blue, domination.
What a cataclysmic shift it would be.
And in the state of Oregon, our current governor has tried to pull a fast one on us, fixing a $350 million problem with a $4.3 billion problem that was initiated with a $15 billion problem. So Christine Drazen is one of the candidates, and she was in the studio here yesterday, and we'll show the full interview down the road, but I want to take this little clip, and I basically asked her a couple of things. We got into the details of a lot of this, but I asked her right at the top, if you're elected, what's your priority? And here's what she had to say.
I'm going to kick off the party by tearing up executive orders that are driving up costs for Oregon. Oregonians don't even realize how many costs are associated at the gas pump and in food prices and in the cost of doing business, building anything, is driven up by executive orders that Tina Kotek has put her signature on. And I will immediately dismantle those executive orders. That's one. Day one, tear them up.
Okay.
And then also just the opportunity to fire the unelected bureaucrats that are making life more complicated and just crushing people with a regulatory environment here. And that's also day one. And then we also have an opportunity to balance the state's budget and get back to core functions and focus on the issues that Oregonians are asking us to. They want safe communities. They want to have, you know, a fully functioning state police. They want the people that are on our streets that are homeless to either get help or not stay. I mean, this is uncomplicated for Oregonians. So an emergency order for homelessness around addiction, and homelessness for me is more focused on addiction. Right now we have people living on our streets that are 85 to 90% of those folks are addicted to something, and they're not getting the help that they need. And so we're talking about getting the budget back in shape is job one. I have to present a budget to the legislature within 6 weeks.
Whoa.
$139 billion is what we have today, and I guarantee you there is a nice fat percentage of that is squandered and wasted. But I will produce a budget that prioritizes core functions and is balanced, and I will stick to it.
One of the other things I asked her, and you'll see it in the whole interview, was about businesses. You know, we're on the verge of businesses leaving the state. They're like in California, they're being run out.
And some have already gone, like Dutch Bros. And
yeah. So it's happening, and she gets it because of being in there. She was a minority leader in the House. Now she's serving in the Senate, running for governor. She understands business regulations, and she kind of gave a litany of things that have to just get off the back of businesses. And I have to tell you, if that isn't done, we'll continue to see an evacuation.
And you know, she also mentioned the unelected bureaucrats, and I think that we oftentimes don't know the layers of government and these and we see it at a federal level too. These bureaucrats. So yeah, good deal.
All right. So in the meantime, let's take a look at Wall Street and see what's happening there. Thank you, Preston. He has smart lawn, but his wife has the ice cream. Twin Peaks.
Who's having more fun?
Well, I don't know. Preston, you do a good job, but we like your wife's ice cream. Over there, Twin Peaks ice cream in Central Point. The Dow's up 302. All right, the Nas jumped up 196, and the S&P is up 38, almost 39 points. This could be anticipation of what the big president is. We don't know what the president is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the president from Iran.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a bomb.
You're right, and this may be in anticipation of opening that present. Yes, hopefully it's not a bomb.
Gold's back. The gold's up to 45.43. Silver's jumped up to 72, and crude oil's down. Well, probably $6 from where it's been. 95.69.
All right. Well, we still have a lot of attention on the disaster that happened at LaGuardia in New York City with the Air Canada jet colliding with a fire truck, and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, flanked by New York Governor Kathy Hochul and New York City Mayor Mamdani, gave an explanation of those incidents.
I want to take a moment and just walk through the facts again of what happened. There was a CJR 900 from Montreal here to LaGuardia, operated by Air Canada Express and by Jazz. It collided with a Port Authority fire truck at approximately 11:45 p.m. last night. There were 72 passengers on the plane and 4 crew. Approximately 40 people were sent to the hospital after the crash. Several have also been released. As has been reported, the 2 pilots of the aircraft passed away in the crash last night. I do want to note that we send our deepest condolences to their families as they're going through, no doubt, a grieving process. There were 2 individuals in the fire truck. They too were sent to the hospital after the crash. When I was at the crash site, it was just a reminder that when you're traveling by air, you should wear your seatbelt. If you see the videos of the air crash, wear your seatbelt when you're on the airplane. Also, in a car, wear a seatbelt. As you see from last night, they do save lives.
A miraculous story coming out of that accident.
Yes.
Stewardess.
She was in her seat, strapped in her seat, and she was ejected over the length of a football field from the crash site and survived.
She broke her leg.
Yes, she did. But
you have
other than
sympathy
that,
for her? You want to go?
I have great sympathy for her.
I think you need to call her and
I would,
send her. Well, don't send her your old book. No, don't do that.
No. But I would send best wishes.
All right. So as they unwind this, I did see the video. It's hard to watch.
Okay.
But I also listened to the audio, and the audio was really interesting because in big airports you have a ground control and then you have tower control. So you have somebody talking to the airplane, somebody talking to the ground control, and sometimes they are on the same frequency.
Okay.
So it depends on the situation. But clearly, the guy in the tower is yelling. I mean, yelling at the guy in the fire truck. Stop. Fire truck 1, stop. And he keeps going.
Why didn't you hear him?
All right, that is the major question to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why didn't he hear him? So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. All right, more to come as we take a lobster. What is it?
Newburg.
Why can't I get that in my mind? A lobster Newburg. That's because I never had one.
That's me too.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be right back.
That's all I have to give. Your love is enough to light up the darkness. It's your love. All I ever needed is your love.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV. Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
But it's just hard to believe that the United Nations goes into this Emergency Security Council to condemn the war on a nation that has killed 40,000 plus of its own people.
For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted, quote, "Death to America."
What good is the United Nations?
News with a little bit of common sense. Mornings on the Dove, weekdays 6 to 8 a.m.
Good morning to you. 26 minutes before the hour on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Had some heavy rain and starting to break up a little bit. A little daylight breaking through.
Yeah, it was nice to get the showers.
Yeah, kind of, watered the grass so you can mow it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, good morning to you. Let's check in with CBN News and in particular Jerusalem Dateline.
As the war with Iran continues, a diplomatic front is emerging. President Donald Trump now says the U.S. is in active talks with Iran to end the conflict.
We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement.
He said those talks include no nuclear weapons for Iran and joint control of the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran is publicly denying any negotiations are even taking place. Iran's Speaker of Parliament posted on X calling it fake news.
They're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly. I would say that if they carry through with that, it'll end that problem, that conflict, and I think it'll end it very, very substantially.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu showing support for the talks while making clear military operations will continue.
President Trump believes that there's a chance to achieve the war's goals with a deal that will also protect our interests. At the same time, we continue to attack in Lebanon and Iran, and we will protect our interests under any circumstances.
The negotiations leading President Trump to extend to 5 days his ultimatum for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. On the ground, nothing has changed as Israel continues pounding Iran and Hezbollah as emergency crews in Tel Aviv work the scene of another Iranian missile strike this morning. In Jerusalem, excavators remove rubble caused by fragments from an Iranian missile that hit the Old City Friday. The damage still has the world on edge. Let me give you an idea of just how close this missile fragment hit to major religious sites here in the Old City. To my left, right over here, that is the southern wall of the Old City. Just beyond that, we're talking the city of David. 200 yards in that direction to the right of it is David's tomb. And then from where I'm standing right here, you have the Church of the Holy Sepulchre that way. And then right behind me, just about 500 yards down and around, is the Western Wall and the Al-Aqsa Mosque.
And the reality is that's what you're seeing here. Here was a missile attack, and immediately it's rebuilt. Immediately it's move on. The answer to terrorism is never get stopped. You just keep going.
In Washington, President Trump promises to keep going with Iran's invasion if talks fail.
We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Paul Petit, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Saturday, Iranian missiles got past Israel's defenses, striking the city of Dimona, where Israel's nuclear reactor is located, as well as the nearby city of Arad. The strikes doing severe damage and wounding more than 100, but miraculously no one died.
These are two separate incidents that happened at different times, and in both, interceptors were fired. But unfortunately, we were not able to intercept the missiles that were fired. From the investigation we carried out in the Air Force, it came out that the failure in the interception in both incidents is not related one to the other.
Israeli military spokesman Brigadier General Effie Defreen says that the missiles Iran is using are familiar to Israel, and they are learning new things all the time.
The Air Force is managing a complex defensive battle. More than 90% of the launches fired at Israel are intercepted.
On Friday, an Iranian missile landed in Jerusalem's Old City Jewish quarter. It's the second time fragments fell in the historic Old City in a week, once near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Visiting Arad on Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the fact they targeted civilians with mass murder weapons proves Iran endangers the entire world.
We're responding with great force, but not on civilians. We're going after the regime. We're going after the IRGC, this criminal gang, and we're going after them personally, their leaders, their installations, their economic assets.
Also on Friday, Iran proved it had longer-range missiles than previously thought. It launched 2 ICBMs at a joint UK-US military base on Diego Garcia Island in the Indian Ocean, some 2,500 miles away. Both the missiles missed, but it proves they have the ability to reach Western Europe, twice as far as previously believed. In an interview on CBS Face the Nation, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Mike Waltz said, it's proof the war is necessary.
Thank God the president is taking action now and stopping this march towards a fully fledged nuclear program instead of waiting until after it's developed.
Under the previous deadline, Iran had threatened to retaliate by hitting regional power plants in countries that supply U.S. bases or have American investments. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte told Fox News Sunday that NATO countries are now stepping up to help protect shipping in the Strait after initially refusing.
A group of 22 countries, most of them from NATO, but also Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, the UAE and Bahrain, most of the other countries from NATO, coming together to implement his vision of making sure that the Strait of Hormuz is free, is opening up.
In the north, Hezbollah continues to pummel northern Israel, and Israel is striking back at Hezbollah leaders and weapons and targeting bridges over the Litani River to block the flow of Hezbollah fighters from the north. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
How about that?
That's pretty amazing. All right, good morning to you. Let's check out the weather because it's still wet out there.
A look at our forecast from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon, expect a cool and wet day with steady rain from Vancouver and Portland south through Wilsonville and McMinnville. Afternoon highs reach the mid-50s with lows tonight in the mid-30s. Across the Willamette Valley, rain continues through the day. Daytime high temperatures will be in the mid-50s for Salem, Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with a light southwest wind and lows in the 30s. In central Oregon, partly sunny in mid-50s for Prineville. A slight chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Bend and Sun River with highs in the low 50s. Over in Boise, Idaho, partly sunny with a high near 74. Showers continue today along the Oregon coast and breezy in some spots with daytime high temperatures in the mid-50s from Coos Bay south through Port Orford, Brookings, and Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, a slight chance of rain for the Rogue Valley, then clearing to partly sunny in upper 50s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, partly sunny in near 60 for Klamath Falls. Into northern California, partly sunny in Wairika with a high near 65, but mostly sunny from Redding down through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low to mid-80s. Mostly sunny skies continue today over the Bay Area with daytime highs in the upper 70s for Santa Rosa and Napa. San Francisco will be near 70 with a west wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and the high in San Jose will be near 78. It's a look at your Wednesday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, a little bit of a shot from the top of Mount Ashland this morning. Still a little patch of snow.
Mm-hmm.
I would ski that.
Why not?
Yeah.
You can make turns on that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What's going on here?
You got a call?
I don't know. My pizza's ready.
All right.
There you go.
Well, this is a good one. On this day in 1937, a headline-grabbing deal changed the business of sports forever. It was revealed that Babe Ruth, the legendary Sultan of SWAT, was being paid a staggering $25,000 a year to promote Quaker Oats. At the time, that kind of endorsement deal was unheard of. But Ruth wasn't just any player. He was baseball's biggest star, a larger-than-life figure whose name carried weight far beyond the ballpark. Quaker Oats saw the opportunity, putting him front and center in ads promoting their cereals and products to families across America. Some questioned the price tag, but it didn't take long to see the impact. Ruth's charisma and popularity helped build a powerful connection with consumers, and sales followed. More importantly, the partnership helped pioneer a whole new idea: athletes as brand ambassadors. Today, sports endorsements are a multi-billion-dollar industry, but it all traces back to one groundbreaking deal and one unforgettable name: Babe Ruth. Michael Jordan said, "Thanks, Babe," because he paved the way for everybody else. And he actually, it was a bargain. It was $25,000 in today's dollars. That's more like just under $600,000, which is a bargain because everything's multi-million-dollar deals this in the era in which we live. So Babe Ruth.
Well, I think Costco ought to give you and I a deal.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't you think so?
I think so too. Oh yeah, and let it not be forgotten, Babe Ruth. A reporter asked him once, and he was really kind of miffed about it. He said, "You make more money than the President of the United States." And he goes, "Yeah, well, I had a better year than the President."
That's good.
Good stuff.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel James Carafano, he's the senior counselor there for the Heritage Foundation, talks about the thing we've been talking about this morning, the surprise gift from Iran. What is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's see what he thinks.
Why bother talking to them?
Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present. And the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related.
Related to the Strait of Hormuz and the flow of...
Yeah, it was related to the flow and to the strait, yeah, it was.
Are you negotiating on who's going to control the strait from now on?
No, we'll have control of anything we want.
I felt like I was just watching a game show of 20 questions. I mean,
Look, first of all, we have won. We have eliminated, the president has eliminated the nuclear threat, the missile threat. They've completely dismantled the surrogates. Everything that made Iran a threat to the United States is demolished. So we could stop today and we have won. I don't know what this deal looks like, but let's say he makes a deal with somebody and the deal falls apart. Well, that's just going to put, because the hardliners don't agree, that's just going to put a lot more stress on the regime, and the regime might even collapse. So, and if he does get the deal he says, well, then that's just kind of icing on top of the cake with a cherry, and then a present to you, and a gift to your IRA. I mean,
Got it.
I don't know what.
Well,
Yeah.
Good point.
Definitely. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. What is it?
What is it?
When will we be able to find out?
Should we have a little game show?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
What is it, for 400?
Yes. Yes.
I guess it is for 600.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Gosh, that is, you know what I think it might be?
What?
It might be, here's the key to our oil refineries.
Oh. Oh.
You know, instead of blowing them up, we'll give them to you.
Yeah, well, we haven't gone to Wall Street yet, but initially they were pretty happy about.
No, Wall Street's up a little bit.
Yeah, they seem to be happy.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a, what is it?
Yeah,
break. We'll be right back.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
At Max Mobile Storage, the commitment is simple: to offer unmatched convenience and reliability in storage. Max Mobile Storage delivers containers right to your doorstep, making storage easy and hassle-free. Founded in 2012 in Medford, Oregon, we sell, rent, and fabricate top-quality shipping containers for homes and businesses. Locally owned and operated, we're proud to serve our community with friendly, reliable service you can trust. More information at maxmobilestorage.com. maxmobilestorage.com.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so it just, everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Put your gold in an envelope, mail it. Hopefully you get a check. No. Father and son jewelry, bring your gold in, we weigh it, we check it, we make you the offer.
Or turn your something old into something new. Whether it's an idea, a picture, or a piece you want to duplicate, we can melt it down and make it for you.
If you find your perfect piece in store, trade your something old for something new, and you always get a little extra.
Visit Father and Son Jewelry, 5 generations of family in Medford. Do events in the world leave you confused? A world where up is down and down is up.
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
Alerting you to the truth that the mainstream media would rather you not know.
Common sense discussions on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside down world,
get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
All right, welcome back. There's another little topic that I can't quite get my brain around. Cryptocurrency.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah, you and me both.
I try to get my head on this. I'm just not convinced.
Yeah.
And yet some smart people are, and I don't understand that. But anyway, there's a little bit of a going around. Cynthia, let's see here, from Digital Asset Chairman Subcommittee, talking about the Clarity Act on Fox News, or The Morning with Maria, talking about the clash between banks and cryptocurrency. I can't help but think that is a major clash.
I would think so, yeah. Yes.
And how long is crypto going to go unregulated? I can't even imagine a government having a currency out there that they don't have their fingers around.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
And number two is, what is crypto backed by?
Yeah.
It's all emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today you could be rich, tomorrow you could be totally broke. Anyway, here's a little bit of the exchange.
The banks, of course, can have fractional reserves, but under the law, payment coins have to have 100% hard asset-backed reserves. So it's really not necessary that FDIC insurance be at the same level for payment stablecoins as it is for fractionally reserved banking institutions. It's going to take a while for people to see the difference, but I think we'll find that we can integrate a very robust payment stablecoin system without the full insurance that goes with being FDIC insured.
I've been a part of a number of meetings where it feels like we're nearing a solution, which I think is absolutely necessary. We've got to have a regulatory framework we pass into law. This is a huge source of growth and innovation for the country. I think there's a broad-based agreement on activity-based rewards, which is going to be a key part of that. And it's absolutely the case that with stablecoin, you need a 1-to-1 ratio versus fractional reserves in the banks, and that's really important for the community banks and people in Pennsylvania, because that allows them to lend to farms and small businesses and so forth. So I'm not sure what the final resolution of that's going to be, but I think there's a growing agreement that we're nearing a solution. And listen, it's probably going to be one of these deals where nobody's going to be entirely happy with everything.
Yeah.
But everybody recognizes that we've got to get this regulatory framework in place, and the certainty, the consumer protection, or the moment might pass us. And we saw what could happen to crypto and blockchain under the last administration, where you didn't have legislation laying out a clear set of guidelines for how this industry can grow and prosper here in the United States.
I'm still a little confused.
I'm very confused, and I'm wondering, why would you do anything without FDIC protection?
Yeah. And now cryptocurrency is a currency. Normally we associate currency as something we're able to spend to buy goods and services. So is there, when you go to Amazon, is there a special place if you're spending dollars and another place if you're spending cryptocurrency?
It's coming.
How do you use it?
It's coming.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think that that's the whole point. And here's the deal, folks. You kind of wonder if this is prophetic.
Okay.
Because if we were to transfer to crypto away from the dollar, and the whole world's on crypto, what does that tell you? You can't buy and sell.
That's the mark of the beast, isn't it?
Well, it's in that category.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a man-made currency that's backed by nothing.
Right. Right.
Nothing. I mean, it's backed by emotions. I don't know. I don't understand. I was on a cab. Where was I? I was in Dallas, and I was going to the airport, and I shared a cab with a guy. And the guy that I'm sharing the cab with is talking to the cab driver, and they were talking about cryptocurrency buy and sell that they were doing online. It's kind of like a commodity thing where you buy and sell every 10 minutes or something.
Okay, and that's okay.
So they were buying and selling crypto online like crazy, and I made $300 yesterday. Well, I lost it on this, that, and I'm listening to this conversation. I'm going, based on what?
What? Right, and we keep hearing it being used as an investment tool, but again, I go back to the currency aspect. Aren't you able to use it? I mean, spend it and buy things with it?
Okay, you go get some crypto coins and go buy a hot dog and let me know how it works for you.
Okay, let's go on to something good here. A fourth grader is being called a real-life hero after saving a man's life just one day after learning how. Yes, indeed.
9-year-old Logan Vangemert of Martin, Michigan, was at church when a man suddenly collapsed from cardiac arrest. While adults nearby scrambled, Logan didn't hesitate. He had just learned hands-only CPR at school less than 24 hours earlier, and in that critical moment, he remembered exactly what to do. Logan jumped in and began chest compressions, keeping the man alive until help arrived. Moments later, an AED was used to restart the man's heart. He's now recovering from surgery. Logan says he felt a voice telling him to act, and he listened. He and his family believe it was from the Lord. His bravery is now being recognized by his school, local officials, and the American Heart Association. And while he's only 9, Logan already knows what's next. He hopes to become a doctor someday. Proof that heroes don't wait, and sometimes they're still in grade school.
Good stuff.
He must have had put a lot of force on that chest compression. 9-year-old.
He had to jump up there.
Yes.
All right, take with you Proverbs 28:13. This is a thought-provoking scripture for you today. Whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. That's an attitude-adjusting scripture for you today. Stick around. Got some great...
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
At Kelly's Automotive Service,
being good stewards of what God has entrusted to us
is at the core of our business.
We believe what we do matters.
Every interaction, every transaction is another opportunity
to bring Christ's values into the marketplace.
If you're a technician who wants to be part of something bigger,
or just looking for a new shop to bring your vehicle,
we would love to meet you.
We're Kelly's Automotive Service, where we service your vehicle,
but take care of you.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us. Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. Hey, it's been a little while since we had our buddy Joel Block. He is a seasoned venture capitalist. He's a financial strategist and advisor, conference speaker, just an all-around cool guy. And he and I respectfully disagree when it comes to cryptocurrency. That's okay. I love him anyway. Hello, Joel. How you doing, buddy?
Perry, how are you?
Good.
I'll tell you, I've been watching some of those crypto markets, and they have very closely paralleled in reverse, what happens in the market, which tells you that just like gold, that it's a hedge against, inflation and other kinds of things. So investors see it as a hedge. I mean, I'm not arguing for or against. I'm just telling you that it seems to run the same direction as gold. And, by the way, listen, I heard your comments earlier. Gold isn't backed by anything. Silver's not backed by anything. And it's just the momentum of the market that makes it work.
Well, that's fine. Have a nice day. I just don't like it. Anyway, let me say to our viewers and listeners, Joel's got a website, theadvantageplayer.com. Hey, congratulations. There it is. Picture of the landing page, theadvantageplayer.com. Well, Joel, things are pretty anxious these days with the war going on. The market's all over the place. And, of course, crude oil's gone from, I think it got up to 119. It's down to 95 today. What's your 30,000-foot view?
Listen, war always is upsetting. It creates a certain amount of uncertainty. Markets don't like uncertainty. I'm not talking about the oil markets. That's a separate thing. But, our business markets, banks have a hard time with it. The stock market has a hard time with it. And all of these things are reacting. And, so we're, listen, what is the Dow down? Almost 10% or, pretty close, maybe a little bit less. But it's any kind of uncertainty is never good for markets. And that's well known. As far as oil goes, oil production around the globe is down about 10 million barrels, which is a lot. And the amount of oil that's running through the Straits of Hormuz are really reduced. But that's going to open up here pretty quick. These are temporary problems. And although people are very focused on the short term, the next 20 or 30 or 40 days, my sense is that these things are going to take care of themselves, and the economy then is going to be back on a good footing. We actually are going to have more oil available than we have had in the past.
Good time to buy?
Buy what?
Stock.
I don't make recommendations about stocks. You know over a long time that I'm not a financial advisor of any kind. Like I'm not the kind of advisor that tells people what to buy, but I run a hedge fund. We buy things. I would say that there are probably many good things to buy right now, but I'm not in a position to make any suggestions.
Okay, so in the meantime, the volatility of all of this, granted, war creates a lot of anxiety. I get that. I think we are understanding that we expect the gas prices to go up with this. It doesn't look like it's a quantity problem. It's a delivery problem. And so let's just assume, somewhat hypothetical, the Straits opens up today. How long do you think you see oil back down into the 50s?
Well, first of all, it's not like taking the key, putting it in your car, and turn the engine. When the Straits open up, it's going to take 30 or 40 days just to turn the engine back on. It's going to take a certain amount of time before the oil production ramps back up because a lot of it's been turned off. Mm-hmm. There are many ships in the Straits right now that need to pass through. Remember a couple of years ago, all those ships were backed up in the docks of Los Angeles?
Right.
I remember flying over, and there were over 100 large container vessels that were in the in that area. So they all had to get emptied out, and that took a month or two. So I imagine the same thing is going to happen, that they have to turn back on the supply. They have to get all those ships to run through once everything is safe and okay. And then that oil has to go get where it's going to go, wherever that is. And that takes time. So I have to imagine that we need to be a little patient for 30 or 40 days for this engine to get ramped up and going. And once that happens, then we should be back in order. I'm quite certain that things are going to normalize, but it's going to take a little while, and we'll end up better off than we were before because the muzzle is going to be taken off the oil supply. There'll be more supply than there was before.
Okay, so in the meantime, everything's high, and how close are we to inflation going up?
I don't see. Listen, if oil prices were to stay up for a long time, that would be very inflationary. But I don't see a lot of other reasons why there's a lot of inflationary activity. I mean, gas prices had come down very substantially from where they were a year and a half ago. So in a certain way, this is an anomaly. It's a blip. We're going to get over it. It's a 60 or 75-day blip that will just happen. And once we get that resolved, we should come back down. So I don't see a lot of reason for inflation to tick back up. Listen, employment's good. A lot of things are really on the right track. They're working hard on housing prices and ways to address that issue. So I think that we're going to be okay.
Well, let's go over to the Federal Reserves. They held rates at level. We're going to get a new chairman here coming up at the end of May. First of all, what was your take on them keeping the rates level?
Well, I think it was expected. I mean, again, there's volatility in the marketplace. There's uncertainty in the marketplace. The last thing that the Fed wants to do is make a change during a time of uncertainty. So they need to kind of get their arms around what's going on. And I don't care who the Fed chairman is, and no matter who it is, they need to get their arms around what's going on and understand it. And then they can document it, and then they can explain it to the capital markets. And once that happens, then we can start seeing some movement. We'll get a new chairman here in the next 60 days or so, and that'll really be good. Jerome Powell is very feisty, and he's fighting with the president about staying on the board and and some other things. But we'll see where it goes. The new guy that they've appointed, he's apparently a pretty brilliant guy, and he should do a good job.
How problematic is it for Powell to stay there on the board?
I don't know a lot about the politics of how the board works. There's always antagonistic board members. It's not uncommon that a corporation or an organization has some board member that's antagonistic. And the question is, how many people are going to side with him, or how many people are going to side with the new chair? That's really the question. And once we understand that, then we'll have a good sense about what your question is and how it's going to work out. If Powell has a lot of support, then he's going to work hard to sway people to his side. I think he did a poor job. I think he demonstrated in 21, 22 that he really was not up for the job. He didn't have the courage to do what was necessary, and he failed the Federal Reserve for that reason, because he didn't have the courage to indicate that interest rates and that inflation was not temporary, which they call transitory. Rather, it was a long-term chronic condition that needed to be addressed by interest rate reductions, and he didn't do it, and that's a significant problem. So we got into this big mess. I think that Chairman Powell has proved his worth, and his days are numbered, and his clock's expired.
Okay, the new chairman seems to be, if I can use the term, Trumpish, wants the rates to go down. That could be significant in the overall economy's recovery post-war, don't you think?
Oh, it'd be just fantastic. When interest rates come down, everything costs less. We always talk about borrowing for individual people, like on their credit cards. That doesn't change all as much as you think, but it's the underlying cost for businesses, because their lines of credit are all tied to variable rates of interest. And when their costs come down, everything comes down around them. And they're able to, bring costs down for consumers. So consumers don't so much save money on the interest on their credit cards. It's they save money at the store when they go buy things, because businesses are able to operate at a lower cost of operation. And that makes a very significant difference. So lowering interest rates stimulates the economy. It reduces everybody's costs. It gets everybody rolling and ready to go. And it's a really good thing for everyone.
Do you think that'll spill over into the mortgage rates?
What the Fed does is not directly correlated to mortgage rates. And the reason for that is that the Fed is dealing with short-term rates, 1, 3, and 5-year rates. Mortgage rates are really based on 10-year rates, and that's a completely different market. Now, there is a little bit of run-up, spillover, just a little bit, not a great amount. So when the Fed reduces rates, there's kind of a tendency for mortgage rates to come down, and they probably will as the economy heats back up and does the things that it's supposed to do. But they're not necessarily correlated the way people wish they were.
Okay, the other thing that's out there, and we may be adding to it, especially with this war going on, a request now from the Pentagon for another $200 billion to fight the war, goes to the debt, the national debt. It's literally out of control. How and when do we address this?
Well, listen, I've been concerned about that, like you are concerned about it for a long time. It bothers me greatly. I have a feeling, just knowing how President Trump operates, we're not going to bear this $200 billion by ourselves. We have defended countries in the Middle East that don't really have their own militaries. They've never really had a need to have their own military, and all of a sudden they come under attack from a country that they thought was one of their friends. Which, by the way, is exactly the reason that the president attacked, is because the leadership of Iran, their attitude seems to be, if we're going down, we're taking you down too. Everybody's going to go down with the ship. And if they had more dangerous weapons, the situation would be even worse. So for all those reasons, I'm really glad that we did this. But on the cost side, my sense is that the president's going to reach out to some of these countries and say, look, we did the work. We're the ones that surrendered or sacrificed our service members, and we need you to chip in. So we need each of you countries to chip in $10 billion or $5 billion or some number of dollars. I have a feeling that there's going to be some level of reimbursement that will take place.
We don't know what the big present is, but it indicates it.
No, we don't. We don't.
Nobody does. But what if the United States takes control of the Straits? Wouldn't that be the revenue source of all time?
Well, here's the thing. It's a lot like Venezuela. Venezuela, we are cashiering all the money that's coming for oil out of Venezuela, and then we're giving them back a percentage of that for their people to make sure that it goes to the right kinds of things and it doesn't go to criminal activity. My guess is that something similar is going to happen in Iran. And by the way, we're making a little commission on all the oil in Venezuela that we're managing. So I don't know exactly what that number is, but there's some percentage that's coming back to us, and it might be a more substantial percentage than we realize. I have a feeling they're going to do something very similar in Iran, that they're going to say, we're going to control the Strait, we're going to control the oil. It's your money, we'll give it to you, minus whatever the commission is to the United States. But we want this money to go to decent causes, not to building a military, which is what they've spent almost all their money on for 47 years. I mean, where did they get the enormous stockpiles and the ability to dig into these mountains? I mean, they used the people's money for 47 years. Mm-hmm. And we have effectively liberated 90 million people. 45 million of them are severely oppressed women. So, I would think that people in the United States would be very happy about this, that, in a couple of weeks when this thing is all mopped up, I would think people would be pretty happy about it.
Joel, you're fascinating. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Joel's website, theadvantageplayer.com. There's a picture of that landing page, a lot of resources there. Theadvantageplayer.com. Joel Block. Good to see you, buddy.
Gary, always good to see you, too.
I don't know where you're hiding, but you're looking good.
Hey, I'm not hiding, man. I'm just here.
Okay.
Waiting for your call.
All right. See you later. Thanks for your time.
finding your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Good morning to you. A lot in the news.
Courage comes when you've been with Jesus.
A movie monster made his larger-than-life debut, introducing audiences to a giant ape brought to life through groundbreaking stop-motion animation.
In fact, I'm in the stage of life where I'm letting some things go.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, well, I won't tell you what.
Add some fun to your mornings. Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
Welcome back. And again, it's been too long since we've had Ken LaCourte with us, former executive there at Fox News. And he's the host of the Elephants in the Rooms podcast. Pretty well known for all this. You can go to youtube.com and / Elephants in the Rooms. And he does have another connecting point, and that's kenlacourte.substack.com. Picture the landing page there. Check it out. Brother Ken, good to see you, man. How are you, Doug?
Good morning. Been great.
Oh, man, I've been listening and watching some of your stuff. You're an interesting guy.
You haven't caught me yet.
Hey,
every time I publish one of these, I'm doing one on, why do Muslims so often marry their cousins, or something on Israel, or now going after Helen Keller. I wonder if they're going to sink the boat I live on.
I don't know. You're doing a good job. Hey, before I get into some of this, what's your take of the war?
I think it's going probably pretty much as expected. I think overall it was a little bit of a surprise to some Americans that we jumped in there. Overall, it was something that probably had to be done. But one thing that we've learned over our lifetimes is the enemies always get a vote in war, and you never know what little twists you're going to have. I think we've been fortunate. We've been fortunate that they didn't have 30 sleeper cells with ball bearings and backpacks ready to explode in the United States. We've been fortunate that our military is so outstanding. We've had some good fortunate things in this, and we'll see how easy it is to get rid of the thugs that run the street levels of that country, and if they give up their power, because if they do, they're going to have a bad life. Right? I mean, you're the local, essentially mini warlord of your village, and you and your guys with AK-47s have been treating people in some very harsh ways. You don't want to be on the opposite side of that gun, and so we'll see how that part of a transition happens, especially in a country where they're the only ones with guns. I mean, that's one big reason why we have a Second Amendment, is to prevent thugs with AK-47s from running our lives.
Yeah. So far, the war has been fairly successful and significant. I mean, a couple of things we're noticing. The sophistication of doing warfare these days. Our military has put on an amazing example of how war is now done. Secondly, do you have any idea who's running the country? And the president's on the phone with who? Do we know who the president's talking to?
I don't think they do either. And every time one comes up, you can argue, and I will argue that this is a much more moral way to run a war, if there is such a phrase, than we've kind of ever seen before. In other words, in past years, it was generally, think of the Iraq War, or both of our earlier incursions into Iraq.
Right.
We got teenagers, we put uniforms on, and we sent them to battle, and we napalmed the other side, and vice versa. I mean, I will never forget the end of the main hostilities going into Iraq against Saddam Hussein. we ended up killing thousands and thousands of young Iraqi soldiers who were no more evil than any kid on the planet. And the concept now that we have both the technological ability, and Israel really started this with their works over their wars over the past handful of years, the technological ability and the guts to do it this way. Because what it means is that if Iran really had an option, they're going to try to kill the president and the Senate. I mean, that's what I'd be doing if I was them. I wouldn't be. There are no young men in uniforms coming into their country. So it's the first time we've seen, I think, a major conflict where the leaders were the targets instead of the pawns. And there's something I like about that.
Okay. Here we are in the 6 weeks, and we pretty much have decimated a country. I mean, there's some things left to do, but for the most part, they've been pretty much wiped out. And yet it's been 3 years between Russia and Ukraine. What does that tell you?
I think the biggest surprise in the Ukraine war was how poorly the Russian army and military worked. It's difficult to really peer inside of a country and see what their military structure, it looks impressive. You have this many tanks, you have this many soldiers, but then when you don't see the corruption, when you don't see that their supply lines don't work, when you don't see that their organization is top heavy and doesn't respond to the way that an organization should. I mean, especially, you hear about supply chains for the Russian army. You can get in a car and have breakfast in Moscow and have an early dinner in Ukraine by driving. I mean, that's how close these. I mean, here the United States is conducting a war on the opposite side of the world, where try to get to Dubai on just on a nice flight. It takes a whole half day of literally flying. So to see I think that was certainly a big surprise, and it was and the fact that unlike the people who lived in Crimea, the Ukrainians decided to fight, and they had Western weapons, and that changed everything. And they're getting a lot better. Ukraine is, they've always been kind of seen as a charity case by those who weren't wholeheartedly in support of giving them unlimited money. But they've been, when life and death is on the stake, on the stakes, they've been very ingenuitive and that's a word. And when you look at their weapon systems, when you look at what they're doing with drones, and when you look at some of their tactics, they've been doing very well.
You did a recent video, and you raised the question of the United States' support of Israel. I can't imagine that wasn't without a lot of, pushback or concern. What led you to take that on?
We've seen. We've seen things shifting over the past years. The United States and Israel for the past 40 years, it's almost been an unquestioned ally. And there were some who argued, and without without some cause, that maybe we give them too much. I mean, that was always a question. You have American Jews who, when it comes to financial, when it comes to their input into the democracy, they punch way above their weight class. I mean, there's been some studies that show that Jewish Americans are close to 50% of large donations to Democratic politicians. That's pretty impressive for a group that's 2% of America. So you always had a little bit of a friction of people who are wondering, are we doing too much? Why are we giving billions of dollars every year to a rich nation? Now it's really given in kind of store credit to our because they have to spend that money on U.S. military equipment for the most part. So it's a little bit of we're helping them and we're helping the defense industry, and it's doing a lot of work for us in the Mideast. And then there's a fair debate that says, how much are we involved in the Middle East because of Israel? In other words, would would Osama bin Laden, would all of these people, would they hate us as much if we weren't the ones who were so steadfast behind Israel? And it's interesting because when you look at, well, who is really the strongest supporters of Israel in America, it's generally, it's now almost substantially conservatives and Republicans. And the Christian element is very, very strong, especially among evangelicals. Part of that is biblical prophecy. Part of that is, I think conservatives remember September 11th and guys on the other side blowing us up a little more than perhaps the other side does. But we're certainly seeing a rift in the conservative commentator world where I don't like Jews is a way to make money online for some of them. And we're seeing that with the Candace Owens. We're seeing that with some of the jerkier ones on the further right. We're seeing it with Tucker Carlson. We're even starting to see it a little bit with Megyn Kelly, who's decided to get some of those clicks. So it's a fascinating, not only geopolitical look, but what's happening at U.S. politics.
Yeah, it is. Boy, that's a deep subject. Maybe you and I could do a sit down on that. But I guess
let's do that a little bit.
I'm sorry, I only got one segment. Let me ask you this: what happened to Tucker Carlson?
That's a good question, and I know Tucker. We're not friends, but we've had friendly conversations, and I think a couple things. One is he's always been such an amazing debater, and he always works to win his debates even when he's wrong. And he's so good that he can win debates even when he's wrong. I mean,
yeah.
and that's a two-edged sword. I think that he buys into a lot of the Jewish conspiracies. I think that he has become. I think some of that might be driven by kind of a religious zeal. I think that some Christians, they look at like a Putin and say, well, he's kind of defending Christianity. That's not how I see it, but I think that that's what's going on in their head. Every time I see somebody saying something that's wrong, it's always, are you intentionally trying to deceive, or are you just ignorant? I always ask myself, is he stupid or is he evil? But that's kind of an overstatement of it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah,
perhaps. And so I'm not sure where that comes down. I mean, clearly he has, but I tell you, your numbers go up if you buy into these conspiracies, and you kind of and look, the people who don't understand at all how the world works and their lives aren't where they love to find a boogeyman. We've seen it throughout all of history, and Jews are an easy target. They're distinct. They're successful. They're influential. They're all of those things. So when somebody's sitting in an apartment that they envisioned owning their own home and they don't, and they see the things that are happening, they don't understand. Jews are kind of an easy target to latch onto.
Yeah, I guess I'll speak for myself. I guess I'm in a state of shock and disappointment. I mean, he was such a great communicator on Fox, and he got tangled up with management there. I get that. He leaves, he goes out and he does his podcast, and he seems to be on track. And then all of a sudden, there's a sharp contrast of who he claimed to be then and what he is saying now. And you kind of go, what happened?
You would often see him play footsie with the crazies, though. Yeah. Or with the people who were out on an extreme. For instance, I'm a believer that the 2020 election was not stolen in any typical sense of the word. That the machines counted the right ballots. The Trump people made that up and fooled their supporter. Tucker Carlson knew that too. But so he would, even when he was on Fox, he wouldn't say it was stolen. He wouldn't go, but he'd say things like, "Well, it's obvious that there were deep, deep systemic problems with that election." Those are words that you can say that get you an audience without without turning away your other base audience.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
He saw the opposition, when he saw that there was a growing MAGA who was America First saying, we don't know about Ukraine, let's not spend billions and billions, let's not get enmeshed in that. He would go over to Russia and go into a bakery and say, look, this bread only cost $1 and it's big, and it's like, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a similar thing with that. And there's a good 20% of conservatives who are like, that's Israel's problem over there. It's Ukraine's problem over there. We've got problems in America. Let's stop. Let's stop fighting. Let's stop. We've been enmeshed in Middle East shooting for 20 years. Let's knock it off.
Yeah.
And that's a position that has some merit, not the way he's going about it.
All right. Hey, I wish I had more time. Good to see you, friend. We'll get you back where we're going to unpack this.
Get an hour show. We get so superficial on these things, and I want to dig into that. Let's do a long podcast.
We do. We need to do that. All right. Let me say to our viewers, let's check out the youtube.com/ at Elephants in the Rooms. That's his podcast. And of course, you can check out his landing page there at kenlacourt@substack.com. Good to see you, buddy. Take care.
Thank you, Perry.
Okay.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is theDove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting theDove TV. Do events in the world leave you confused? A world where up is down and down is up.
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out.
Alerting you to the truth that the mainstream media would rather you not know.
Common sense discussions on what's really going on.
That will leave you better informed and encouraged by the gospel.
In this upside down world,
get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
Hi, welcome back, and look forward to having John Veal back with us. He is a senior pastor there at Enduring Faith Christian Center in Chicago, Illinois. He's also the CEO of the John Veal Ministries. He's a regular contributor to Charisma Magazine online and the author of several books, including Destroying Demonic Tactics and Racism and the Church and the Nation. Check out his website, John Veal, VEAL.org is his website, and there's a picture of that landing page. And of course, check out the book Destroying Demonic Strongholds. Brother John, good to see you, friend. How are you, bud?
Hey, great to see you again, Perry. Honored to be on with you again.
You know, you're the man. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Somebody told me adulthood's a trap, so maybe I won't go there.
Right? Come on.
Hey, this is an interesting topic, spiritual discernment. It's really interesting that this would pop up today. I've been doing some reading on this, and for various reasons. Wow, how would you describe spiritual discernment?
Spiritual discernment. I think it's one of the most neglected gifts we have in the body. I believe, just like prayer, I say that's the most neglected weapon in the body. But I think many people need spiritual discernment to really know what's of God and what's not of God. I think it gets a lot of people in trouble, the lack thereof, because it's a gift. Gift by definition means something that's given away. So you can ask for spiritual discernment, and I believe God will give it to you. So it's very important, especially in these perilous times, to really know what God has his hand on and what he's taking his hand off. So it's very important in this day and age to have spiritual discernment, just to perceive, to really see what's going on in the spirit realm and the natural.
How would you separate the gift of spiritual discernment from the gift of word of knowledge?
Word of knowledge tells you basically the past and the present. Discernment tells you exactly what's God, what's not God. I've been to places where I've discerned leaders, other people, not really being of God, but being from the enemy, so to speak. I can really say that because what I've seen, sometimes what you see spiritually, God will prove out naturally. So you'll see it first spiritually, and then naturally you start to see some things in the person, in the arena, in the church, wherever you are, that prove out what you already perceived. So it's very important to listen to this, listen to that gift of discernment, and that will help to guide you in terms of being in the right place, in the place where God will want you to be. That's very important in this season because you don't want to be under a wolf. And we've seen so many wolves in sheep's clothing that have really done a job on the church, and the level of exposure at this time is very high. So we're seeing more and more leaders fall because of what's done in secret, and the discernment helps you to perceive that.
Okay, you're really touching on something here. This is really good. To your point, we've seen some major leaders fall lately. It breaks your heart, makes you angry. It's embarrassing. I mean, all those things as a result of this. But you got to ask yourself the question, if they're sitting in front of an accountability board, where was the spiritual discernment that this guy was, or this person was heading in the wrong direction?
I think sometimes even the accountable, basically can be controlled by the leader, right? So they believe whatever the leader says, whatever he does. I mean, even a couple of years ago, I prophesied to my church that exposure was coming. And then a few years ago, I said exposure is here, and it's going to be seen on an unprecedented, supernaturally accelerated level. And that's pretty much what we've been seeing because I believe God is cleaning house. So concerning the board sometimes is under control of that leader. And they'll do whatever he says because you have a lot of yes people in there. You might have one person that kind of, moves away from the pack and says, well, okay, this is not right. But in some churches, the leader controls the board. So they do pretty much whatever they say. And sometimes these people will turn a blind eye to what the leader is doing until it's exposed, right? Once it's exposed, then some of them would start to part ways with the leader because now everyone is found out. But I've seen that so many times in so many years, it's ridiculous.
Have you walked into a spiritual gathering and sensed something's wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Multiple times. There was one gathering where the Lord told me what was going to happen before I went there. He said, the guest speaker was going to prophesy to you, but it's not going to be of me. So he's letting me know. And I shouldn't have gone, but, I went anyway because sometimes, pray for me because sometimes I test God by going to see if it's actually going to happen.
Oh,
and
you're human.
Right.
You're human.
Right. I went there. And so the guy gave my wife a really beautiful, authentic, prophetic word, really good, right? So he calls me up and he gives me this word. And he says, I see water. He had an accent, coming from the sky and it's hitting a rock. He said it like that. And he said, well, that's not a good thing. He said, you're getting the results of an ant this season and things are not going well and all this. And it was one of my most busiest times of ministry initially. I mean, I was traveling all over, I was doing all these things, so it really didn't register. And so I made the mistake of allowing this guy to lay hands on me. And so he laid hands on me and told me I was going to get $2 million, and I'm still waiting on the $2 million. And then when I got home, I felt like something was on me, something demonic. And I had to pray throughout the night to get it off me. That's why I always tell people, be careful of who you allow to speak into your lives and also who you allow to lay hands on you because they can carry spirits and those spirits can transfer and get on you. And you're wondering what's going on. Why are you feeling this way? Why do you feel this presence on you? And that's exactly what I felt that night, and I had to pray it off of me.
Wow. What do you say to a board member or an elder who senses something's wrong but won't speak up?
I say speak up. I mean, we need that because I don't see everything. In my church, I don't see everything. So I don't have a lot of yes people around me. I have people that would honestly tell me the truth. Let me know when they're upset. I had one leader he was upset with me because of something I said over the pulpit, and he verbally expressed that. And, I welcome those things because I believe Jesus did the same thing. He allowed the disciples to speak truthfully to him because they would get smart with Jesus. I mean, when he asked who touched me, one of the disciples said, "What do you mean who touched you? You see this crowd around you, Jesus?" And then one time he was going somewhere, he said, one of the disciples said, "Jesus, you're about to get us killed." They spoke plainly, but Jesus allowed them to do that so they could see what was on the inside of them because he already knew what was in them, but they could actually see it. So I believe that's very important within the church. You don't run it like a CEO. You don't run it like you're their boss. You're not their boss. You're their servant. So you got to allow people to speak freely, as long as it's respectfully. If it's disrespect, I'm going to pull away. But if you speak to me respectfully and we respectfully disagree, that's fine.
You mentioned earlier that this gentleman, the Lord kind of he told you in advance that this was going to happen. The prophecy comes, it didn't get fulfilled. We have a lot of people that move in that ranks of what they call, quote, prophetic gift or words of knowledge, and they're wrong. Mm-hmm. Now, the Bible's pretty clear what you do with that, but I haven't seen any public stonings lately.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm just wondering, we're messing up people's lives here. Don't get me wrong, I believe what the Bible says, but we don't seem to have any fear or respect that we could be wrong.
Yes. Yeah, and I put out something a couple of years ago that got me in trouble. I said I did a video, I did a post on social media. It was entitled, Just Say I Missed It. And I tell prophets that all the time. If you miss God, say you missed him. If you give a certain time, this is going to happen, doesn't happen at the time, you kind of miss God. And so I got a lot of backlash from that that still affects me today. But I said what I felt was in my spirit to say, because to me, if you get it wrong, anybody could get it wrong. I'm not perfect. That's human error. That could be human error. It's not God. You could have missed God. You could have thought it was God. It wasn't God. And you say it, but be man enough to say, hey, I missed it. And if you said it publicly, say that publicly, that I missed it. But there's a spirit of pride that keeps a lot of people from doing that. Then say, I just missed God. Very important to say that.
Do you ever write prophecies down and see if they come to pass?
Yeah, I have. I'm learning to do that like right before the new year starts, because I told people 2024 and even into 2025, I said it's gonna be a great year, but there's gonna be something that happens that pulls people back to the church. I talked about the fear of God coming back. I talked about wars and rumors of wars. I talked about governmental shifts. I talked about things happening that weren't good, And so the thing about it is that we really got to take, eat the whole scroll, so to speak. We got to take both the good and the bad, because I believe even the bad will result in revival. And I think we talked about that before, lasting revival that will keep on going. And I felt like something had to shift in the world. Something major had to happen to bring people back to the house of God.
One of the other things I see, John, and I'll quickly ask this and then we'll take a break. And I want to say this carefully because I'm concerned about people's lives being misled. That's my motive for bringing this up. And I also want to make sure that we have a reverential fear of God, that if we're speaking in his behalf, we better know that we know that we know, okay? But what concerns me is that we're promoting personal prophecy more than we are the gospel. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm communicating that right, but there are schools for this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, okay, are we also teaching the fear if we're wrong? Mm-hmm. And if we're concentrating more on giving somebody a personal prophecy outside of what the Word of God says, how dangerous is this?
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. In the book of Corinthians, I love what Paul said. There was Paul was just speaking in general. He said in some cases, in some parts of that scripture, he said, this is God speaking. Other parts, he said, this is me as a representative of God speaking. So I really don't say, thus saith the Lord very often. I believe that it was said in Old Testament times to show which God the prophet was speaking on behalf of, because you had false prophets that were talking about thus saith Baal, thus saith Ashtaroth, all these fake demonic gods. So I think too many people said the Lord said something and he didn't. I tell my people all the time, I say, it's going to be terrible. You get to heaven and you might make heaven, but God will tell you most of the stuff you said was me that I said I didn't say. And you never want to be accused of that. So I'm very, very careful with saying, because I fear the Lord with that reverential fear. I'm very, very careful with saying God said something if I'm not sure. And so you're right. We need to take more accountability. And you're right about personal prophecy. I mean, that's like, the psychic, right? People always want to get a word. They want to hear something about them. You're going to get millions of dollars. And so a lot of people are drawn to that instead of really being drawn to the word, to being drawn to, you have Bible study and a lot of people won't come to Bible study when you're just teaching on scripture, but you have a prophetic conference. Everybody and their mothers come.
Yeah. All right, let me take a break. I've got a couple more questions there. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Pastor John's book, Destroying Demonic Tactics. It's a powerful book. I think you'll find it to be very resourceful. There it is, a picture of the cover on the screen. You can get it online. And also his website, johnveal, veal.org. And there's a picture of his landing page. We'll be right back.
When plumbing emergencies hit, and they do, you want help from a plumber you can trust, and you need it now. On It Plumbing to the rescue. On It Plumbing gets the job done right with integrity and quality craftsmanship. On It Plumbing offers military discounts, senior discounts, and discounts for KDOV listeners too. Licensed, bonded, and insured. On It Plumbing, CCB 229436. No job too big or small. On It Plumbing does them all. See us at onitplumbing.net. onitplumbing.net.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Grace back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California. Or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
Okay, welcome back. An honor to have back with us Pastor John Veal's back with us today, senior pastor there at the Enduring Faith Christian Center in Chicago. He also has a book out that's really, I think, very resourceful, Destroying Demonic Tactics. It's a must-read book. There's a picture of the cover on the screen. You can get it online. And then, of course, he has a website, John Veal Ministry, johnveal, veal.org. And there's a picture of the landing page. We're dealing with spiritual discernment. One last thing on these personal prophecies, John, before we move on, that's made me, and let me just back up and tell you why I'm kind of sticking to this a little bit. We know that a third of the audience that watch theDove radio and TV are people who've been hurt by the church. They don't trust going to church anymore. They don't trust pastors. They don't trust people because of various things, and some of it's this stuff, and they left confused and damaged. And so they want to renew, they want to believe. And so watching a television station or listening to a radio station or something online, it's personal. They can do it in the privacy of their home and still get their spiritual enrichment, even though we still encourage them to go back to church. But most of these personal prophecies are always about something that's going to happen. In the Old Testament, most of the prophecies were warnings.
Mm-hmm.
Personal prophecies is always something about positive that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Very little do I ever hear where a personal prophecy is a warning. Or am I missing something?
Yeah, I like that. Well, you look in the book of Corinthians, it also talks about prophecy being used for the edification, comfort, and exaltation of, of people, really to encourage them. So that is one aspect of it. But yes, the Old Testament, you didn't want to come to Prophet Samuel's prophetic conference because you knew you're going to get a word that you wouldn't like, or King Ahab's gathering, because you knew you're gonna get the truth. So that's very, very important. I thought when you said it before, I thought of the deacon that was in my church years ago, and there was a guest prophet that came in. And he prophesied to him that he and his wife were going to have a child, and that never happened. Never happened. He would, whenever we had a prophet come, he would not come to church. I think today, he left the church years ago, but then I think he's never been back. So you can severely wound people by giving false words. So I totally agree with that. I've given some hard words. I just told someone yesterday that there was a woman. It's two little instances, if I can say it real quick. When I was new to prophetic, I was very raw. I had no one that trained me. I would say whatever God told me. So there was a woman that I was speaking. I was a guest speaker somewhere, and there's a woman that came up, and the Lord showed me that her husband was physically assaulting her. And I told her, and her husband was right there, and she was shaking. He was looking crazy, but that's what God showed me. And so when I had a little bit more training and a little bit more tact, the same burden that came on me about that, I experienced with another woman that was at another service. And I didn't say it out loud. I told her, just give me a call and I'll tell you what the Lord is saying. And so she called me and she said, what's the Lord saying? I said, your husband's beating you. And so she said, yeah, to the point I've been unrecognizable, where my kids are upset. He always does this to me. What should I do? I said, leave him. I said, she said, well, you're the only pastor that's ever told me that. Everybody says stay with him. I said, why would I tell you to stay with someone that's going to, looking like they're trying to kill you? So she thanked me. She got off the phone, never heard from her again. But I've given a lot of hard words with it, and that has made me very unpopular sometimes.
Okay. Back to spiritual discernment.
Sure.
This gift is not only for in and around Christians and church life. It's for life. I've walked into business meetings and boy, I just know that this person I'm looking at is not the right one that should be here.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yeah, I've done that too. Recently I've been around people and I felt certain things, and it's been confirmed because I would talk to someone that knew the person and they'd say, hey, yeah, you're right. There is something wrong going on there. It's God's warning system. It's God's, letting you know, hey, maybe you should not connect with this person. Maybe you shouldn't sign this business deal, or you shouldn't go to a certain place. So I love it. It's very useful, very good. And I think we need to sharpen our gift of discernment. How do we do that? We ask God, we say, hey, show us, Lord, when you're going somewhere, ask Lord, hey, should I go here? Should I not go here? Should I do this? Should I do that? Very, very important.
Okay, and I don't want to confuse things here, but isn't the gift of discernment the activity of the Holy Spirit living in our lives?
It could be, yeah. Because it's pretty much, everyone can hear the voice of God if you listen, right? He told me years ago, I'm speaking to my people, they're just not listening. So really, that's what it is. God will tell you, like he told me with the guy that said I was going to get him $2 million. He told me before I went that what he's going to give me is not from him. So I think we just have to be listening as well as discerning, but we have to really listen to what God is saying, and we got to know his voice and know when he's talking to us and then obey what he's saying to do.
What do you say to people that are beginning to sense maybe a gift of discernment developing, but they're not sure? How do they, if I can use the word, test it?
Mm-hmm. Test it. Well, proof is in the pudding. you listen. They call it, what is it? Instinct. A gut feeling. A lot of that is discernment, because 9 times out of 10, that gut feeling is usually not wrong. When you feel, it's times it could be wrong, but it's rarely. So when you feel something in your gut, that's really discernment. But the way to really strengthen that discernment, get into the Word of God, stay in the Word of God. When you pray, make time to listen. Don't talk all through prayer. Listen to what God is saying. Then you become attuned to His voice, and He will speak to you, just like He's done with me concerning discernment. He'll say, hey, that person's not right, or this person's a witch, this person's a warlock. He'll let me know before I even encounter them, because I have a relationship with Him where He speaks to me and I speak to Him. So it'll be very important for them to do that.
One last big question. Has your wife ever said something to you that confirmed a discernment that you were feeling?
Oh, my wife is so discerning. It was people that I like and I associate myself with, and my wife said, they're not for you. They're not for you. And sometimes I wouldn't listen, and it would be proven to be true. So I've learned to listen to her a bit more. My covering leader basically always says, listen to your wife, listen to your wife. So I think wives can be extremely discerning, and women are some of the strongest people I know. I have a new respect for the strength of women due to my wife and my mother-in-law. Strongest people I know. So yeah, sometimes a wife can see what we can't see. So that's why it's so important in a lot of cases to really listen to your wife.
How good are you at that?
I've gotten a lot better. At first I wasn't, but she's proven to be right too many times. So now I put a lot of credence on what she says, a lot of weight on what she says.
All right. This is a fascinating topic. What do you want people to, 30 seconds there, if they're praying for the spiritual discernment, what should they be doing here?
Really ask God to give it to them. It's a gift. It's one of the 9 gifts of the Spirit. So we can ask for a gift and receive it. Paul told Timothy, he got the gift through the laying on of hands, whatever gift that was. We're not sure because Scripture doesn't really say. But the thing about it, just ask God. Say, Lord, give me the gift of discernment. If I have it, sharpen it. Strength to help me to sharpen the strength. Show me what to do. Is it reading the Word? Is it praying? Is it worship? I want to know how to strengthen this gift that you've already given me. It's so very important, so very vital at this time to know what's of God and what's not of God.
Wonderful. Pastor John, good to see you, buddy. God bless you, my friend. Check out his book called Destroying Demonic Tactics. It's available online. There's a picture of the cover. And check out his website, johnveal.org. That's his ministry website, johnvealministries.org, johnveal.org. God bless you, friend. Let's stay connected.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Road Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business. While we